Welcome in, chat. How's it going? Oh, hey, I forgot about my Discord announcement. Son of a heck. Oh, you're gonna have to give me a second, chat. I forgot to type it. Welcome. Oh, yo, congratulations, Ashton, on the first. Good go.
Hey, Ori,
good go.
how did you like my DM? Love.
You scare me, Rix. You scare me. What's up, Shirts? What's up, Moonboy? What's up, Galaxy? How's it going, Cantaroon? How was the philosophical conversation about spoons? I'm gonna type this somewhere else so that I don't accidentally send it. The spoon was very much spoon. We spooned up the convo. Hi, Jelly Bean. How's it going? Welcome in, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, I am excited today, chat. I am excited today. It is the final day of the Creative Jam. 53 million. 53 million. For the record, there are people present in the chat who don't know what spooning is. Yeah, it's me. I don't know what spooning is. Never heard of that, actually. You almost died twice today. I think that's a bad thing, Moonchi. What happened? What did you do? Spooning is when you use a spoon to eat food. That makes sense. I'm gonna tell everybody at work today how much spooning I did. Teach you about spooning. Blood loss, donate blood. Oh, that's actually pretty real. I saw the picture of that in Discord. Go donate blood, chat. Follow in Moonchi's footsteps. Spoon is what we say instead of soon. Spoon is what we say instead of spoon. Spoon is what we say instead of fork.
HWAT.
I did not ping Discord. I'm about to. Jilly Bean, I'm doing. Ask chat what spooning is. I have done so much spooning. I'm normal. Follow my footsteps except for the almost dying part. Yo, Ray, thank you so much for the
Ray Nice Falling just shared 100 bits.
That technically means, chat. That technically means yellow is winning. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. You are now in the jar. Your yellow biddy has been put in the jar amongst two. There are two whole yellow biddies in here, and there's only one of any other color. So, yeah, Lelo is winning, chat. The Lelos are taking over. According to Mumbo Wins, I was plotting some silly things with Sherbs. Interesting. Interesting. I could never even imagine. And almost done, chat. Almost done. Okay, there we go.
OLP.
Done. Posted the announcements. Let's go. Oop. After I was plotting, I went to rest a bit. That's pretty fair. Hey, Stream Streaks hit. Okay, bye, guys. Oh, Rix. Hey, what's up, Vampiric? How's it going? Welcome in. How are you doing? Oi, 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 oi. It's a day today, chat. It might end up being a shorter stream, but that's okay. I am really excited to finally get a chance to be able to announce these results. This creative jam has been a lot of fun, honestly. I'm very excited for the creative jam, or I'm very content and happy with how the creative jam went. I think this is a lot of fun, and it was really cool to be able to do something like this. I hope that we're able to do something like this again soon.
Well.
What's up, Camo? Thank you so much. Well, how's it going, buddy? Howdy, howdy, howdy. If it's next session, what's next session? What? And thank you very much. Hello from YouTube. Ooh. I'm sorry, chat. I'm too sick for ooh. Ooh. I'm fine. I'm so okay. I'm doing great. Feel better, damn it. What the hell was I gonna say? Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the new Paragon on Patreon. Oh my goodness, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Holy hell, I forgot to unpause the timer. Thank you so much to the new Paragon today. Amazing to have you. Thank you. Paragon is a purely support role. It does give access to content, but it gives content that you would have gotten a champion tier, and everything beyond that is a support role. Thank you so much for a brand new Paragon. I really do appreciate that. It's super, super cool to have you. I don't know if you're here right now, but if you are, thank you so much. And chat, I'll have you know, I actually updated the command preemptively this time. Yeah, I remember things sometimes, chat. Take care of yourself. No. Yes, but not right now. I'm doing shit. I'm busy. Fellow Paragon. Paragon. Goodness
Mods,
me.
Kill him.
Take care of yourself. No. All right. Oh no. Oh no. I'm getting banned, chat. I have to go. I really wanted to do a thing where I would just like fall out of my chair, but I don't know if I have the mental capacity to do the full thing right now. Maybe if you guys ask really nicely. I'm looking at swimsuits that I don't know how I got into this situation. Real? I want to look at swimsuits. Oh, is this for wearing purposes, or am I misconstruing something? For some reason, whenever somebody talks about like looking at something or browsing through something, my first instinct is to say share, but I say it, whenever I say it, I instinctively say it in the format like you're going to eat it. And I'm like, save a bite for me, you know what I mean? And you know, I don't think that works as well in the conversation about swimsuits. I don't know what gives me that idea that it might not work, but you know, something just seems a bit off about it to me. You seem in a good mood. I am in a good mood. Yes. Tell you a direct message of critical importance. View in a private place. Oh, this is a private place. Chat, you won't tell anybody, right? You know, maybe I'll look at that later. What the hell am I gonna do with you, Rix? I'm doing great, chat. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm doing great. Potato. I'm very excited. Just so you guys know, for the winners of the Creative Jam, I'm going to explain all this again, but for the winners of the Creative Jam, for those who did win, I'll be reaching out for certificates and for puzzle coins. So I'm actually very excited for this. I just heard, chat, you won't tell anyone, right? After no context drop off of ads. I like the idea that the ads just like pick you up on a bus and then they just like hold your eyes open while you watch like, I don't know, like 2 minutes of a Chevy fucking Silverado, and then they just drop you off back off the bus. You all can't see it, but I sent Ori inappropriate messages related to the shirt off redeeming a possible alternative version. Chad, this isn't what you told me spooning was. The grass can be green and fun if you know what I mean. I wish, dude. I wish. Oh, I need to get me some. It's been a long time. Wow, great guess, Ori. Was it a Chevy Silverado? It was probably a Chevy something else. It was probably like a... I don't remember what Chevy ads have been popping up recently. Shit-hearted. Shit-hearted.
Chevy was one of them, coincidentally.
Chevy was one of them? Ha, I got it. Oh my goodness, Moonboy, thank you for the resub. Let's go. Moonboy, has it only been 3 months?
Targonian just subscribed for 3 months.
It feels like it's actually secretly been a billion months, actually. Chad, how much time is a billion seconds? I feel like that's a long time. I'm putting you on the board. You're going on the board, Moonboy. There you are, Moonboy. Thank you so much for the 3 months, bud. I appreciate the heck out of you. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. Fuck if I know. 1 billion, 14 years? Okay, that's actually not as much as I thought it was. Wasn't I already on the board? I don't see you on the most recent board, but you can be on the board more than once. It is possible to be on the board more than once. Every time you sub, you go on the board. It's the rules, chat. Is that a hype train?
Hype train started.
You guys just hype train? What the hell, guys? Why are you doing that? Train. Chat, we have an award show to do. What are you doing? 1 billion seconds, about 31.7 years. That makes, yeah, okay, that checks out. Red Rain train, god damn it. Chat, what are you doing with this silly little hype train? No more of that necessary. Thank you, though. Go home. Go home, you're drunk. That's the rule, and here I thought it was a good boys and nerds were allowed on the board. Nope. No, it's purely financial gain. Chat, you know, I was thinking about it. It would be like, I was thinking about it. What if we frame the board as like a punishment? Like somebody subscribes and we're like, how dare you? How fucking dare you? You know what? Because of that, you're going on the board. And you know what? Just for gifting 2 or more, we're putting a sticker next to your name, asshole.
Just shared
you know what?
100
Just for
bits.
gifting 5 or
Blue
more,
for train.
I'm gonna surround your sticker in gold and put a little doodle next to it. Because you did that. Think about your actions. Thank you so much for the blue. Okay, so now we have lover tie. We have a lover tie now. Thank you so much, Jilly Bean, for the hype train food. And oh, I'm sorry. Jilly Bean, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that. Just because you did that, I'm gonna put your blue biddies inside the biddy jar. Think about what you've done. Lover train. 31 years, 251 days, 13 hours, 21 minutes, 28 seconds. Nice. Lover lights. Lover lights. It's been so long since we changed the light scheme. Because now I have this down here. You guys can't see this. I mean, you can. A little bit. But I have... This is actually a neon sign right here. But when I pick it up, it usually just looks like nothing. Like, it just kind of blows out. I mean, okay. Correction.
Nobody has requested in forever.
It looks like nothing right here because the camera exposure, but when I lift it up, it just blows out my whole camera. So I keep it mostly off screen so I can have like kind of the cotton candy lights. But since
Jilly
that,
Bean just shared 100 bits.
Jilly Bean,
I thought about it, decided it is in fact worth.
What the hell did we just say, Jilly Bean? We had this conversation. But I did these cotton candy lights, but since then I stopped taking requests on what color lights we have. Jelly bean? Jelly bean. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing this, Jelly bean. What the hell, man? Another, you know what? I hope you remember this time. I hope you remember this time. Another blue rock in the biddy jar for you. I hope you learn. God damn it, Rain.
Rain
you
Ice
son
Fallen
of a
just
bitch.
shared 100 bits. We must keep it lover.
This is serial crime. This is serial fucking crime. Rain is your punishment. You're getting a yellow goddamn rock in the biddy jar. This will be a reminder of what you did. This will be a reminder of what you did, Rain. I hope it keeps you up at night. I can't believe you. Thank you, guys. Assholes. Someone hypothetically has 100K.
You know what you will
race.
choose the biddies he'll punish you with. Or...
Do not ever call them racos. That's so bad for so many reasons. It'd be worthwhile to end stream today. It would be perfect. You can't end stream on special events. Guys. Well, I'll choose the biddies to punish you with them. God damn it, Candrid. Why does that sound wrong? What's up, Sage? How's it going? Be careful, or it looks like some people are into this. God fucking damn it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and join up into a VC with some people who will be helping me with the commentary for the presentation for the Creative Jam today. So it's about time to look through some of the awards. How about that? Why, hello. How's it going?
Wow, hello.
Good. Is there a way you can stall for 5 more minutes?
Yeah. So, chat, have you ever heard that you know when you end the
Okay,
you know when
so-
the
Ori, shut up.
no.
So one thing,
Why did
I
you
feel I'm
clip
going
that?
to say this.
What?
I'm going to say this as many times as possible because it's important that people know this. Winners, the winners of the things, are going to get a puzzle coin, and they're going to get their option of a digital or physical, certificate. And if you choose the physical one, it'll be mailed to you. And after stream today, we're going to go to people and we're going to say, hey, what do you want? You have a week to get back to us with what you want and your address and all of the things that are needed in order to send it to you. And if you take longer than a week, you lose out. Because last time we did this, we did not give a timeline. And then we had people like 3 weeks later being like, oh, can I change it for this? Oh, I didn't get back. And it was a nightmare. And it took forever to do it. So you have a week this time, okay? This is very important. You have a week to tell us the things that we need. And after that point, you're just getting a digital one.
No, Moochie, don't clip that. He's gonna catch it. No, don't clip that. God damn it.
What happened?
Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing happened.
What happened?
Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
What happened?
I don't know what you're
Ori?
talking about. Huh?
I wasn't on stream. What happened?
Nothing. Chat, don't sell me out here. What the fuck?
It's funny.
No, it's not funny.
No one's
Nothing
saying-
was funny.
No one's saying anything.
Nothing was funny, chat. God, no! Galaxy, fuck! Hail, no! Son of a bitch. Okay, I do agree with Rain. After today, there's going to be 1 week of time, so on the 27th is going to be the last day that we're accepting addresses if you want to have it physically shipped to you. For those who want a physical certificate, I'm not doing Genie Wishes, unfortunately, anymore. It is a nightmare to get those through, I learned. Not in a bad way. I'm glad that we did it the first time. But, if you guys want it mailed to you, we do have to have a physical address. If you are not comfortable with something being shipped to you, or you don't want it physically shipped to you, you can absolutely have it done just digitally. And after 1 week of time, we're going to assume that it's going to be done digitally. So, what? I didn't do anything wrong. Take his Ori charms. I'm not real. Stop hallucinating. Guys, is the room spinning for you? Or is it just a me thing? This will be his last stream. Oh no. I'm in danger. No Reese's for me. I learned very soon after what it takes to ship food across internationally, and surprise, surprise, don't. My wish is obviously the hardest to do for you.
I could
Gosh,
have told you that, Ori, if I knew about it before you had
Well,
already
you should have
said
told
you
me
would
then.
do it.
You should have told me.
I'm going. I'm.
The other problem, and in this most recent one, I'm gonna see what I can do to remedy the situation. But when it comes to shipping internationally, it's a lot easier to ship something like a certificate, something that's on paper. However, because you can do so with just stamps, right? You can put 3 international stamps on a page size envelope and you can ship it just like that. However, when that happens, I don't get a tracking number. So I have to see what my options are in way of that, of being able to receive a tracking number, because otherwise I just kind of have to hope that it makes it home. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of times when it comes to international shipments that something can get caught in the machine when it comes to a shipment going internationally. So we're going to see what we can do with that. If I can get tracking numbers, I will. It sometimes may take a little while when it comes to shipping things like these, because first of all, they have to get made. Then they have to get sent to post and everything like that. So we're going to see what we can do. Worst case scenario, we don't have tracking numbers for them, but in the best case scenario, we do. Still Sage? That's
Almost
really
done, I
unfortunate. I'm so fine. Hey, Rain, have you ever heard of what spooning is?
Like cuddling?
No, that's weird, Rain.
We love you, Volt.
Chat, explain to Rain what spooning is. Chat, if you fuck me on this, I'm gonna be so mad.
What is this in reference to?
Chat taught me what spooning is today, and I was gonna go out and tell everybody how much spooning I've done today.
Oh, you've been spooning lots?
Spooning is when you eat food with a spoon. Thank you, Cantaroon.
Well, that's good. I mean, it depends on what you're eating, I suppose. There are some things that if you ate with a spoon, I would get a very large spoon and hit you over the head with it.
What's
but
an example
there are
of something
plenty...
that I shouldn't eat with a spoon?
Pizza.
I have an idea, chat. There's a Domino's.
No.
Sometimes I like to get this laundry list of things that would make Rain angry. And Rain is so quick to tell me all of the things that would make him exceptionally angry. This list very easily converts by changing the title to my to-do list for today.
I have some words for you.
Squeezy jelly with a spoon. Oh,
I hover over the
Earth.
delete button on the edit that I'm working on.
I hover over the delete button on Ori don't.
I technically could do that.
Eat
I
rain
believe
with a
you.
spoon.
Be careful.
Moochie says suffer. Haha, haha, haha. Do not eat rain with a spoon. Please nobody eat rain with a spoon. At least use a
I
fork.
would prefer not.
Okay.
Hey, Volt.
Hello.
What's something that you shouldn't eat with a spoon?
Soup.
Ori eats pure honey with a spoon.
Uh,
Hot sauce with a spoon. Soap with a spoon.
I don't eat
Go
soap with a
drink
spoon.
rainwater in a puddle with a spoon.
Okay, well, on that note.
I need to take a moment to stare at a wall and question some things.
What's something that you shouldn't eat with a spoon, people? Anyways.
So fun fact, everyone,
Eat
the
lasagna with a
website will
spoon.
be being live updated with the winners as we go through them.
Oh shit. Okay, that's super neat. I wasn't expecting. I thought it was gonna take a little bit longer for the website to get updated, but Volt is overachieving right now, and I'm very excited. All right, guys, let's get into finding an actually track that Volt isn't gonna kill me over.
Thank God. I have
You
to
know,
listen to that one on repeat one more time.
I have like 20 tracks on my stream deck.
Oh nice, I can be lazy
It
now.
would be great if you used more than 2 of them at any given time.
But I like those two.
Okay.
All right, guys, welcome to the Myramyth Creative Jam Awards. I really appreciate you guys joining us for this event. This has been a lot of fun. This has been the first non-mystery event. I mean, of course, the community awards was, I'll call it a mini event, maybe like a preamble to events that Myramyth was intending to host. And it is really cool to have Myramyth's kind of first official event. Hopefully in the future, maybe one day down the line, Myramyth will host more events and we'll look back at this one and be like, that was silly. But this was a really fun project to work on, and I have a big thank you to all of the staff members who helped make this possible, including but not limited to Rain and Voltaic here. Thank you guys so much.
I didn't do
fun.
it.
Bolt, shut up.
From praise to hatred in one fell swoop. Let's see how it is.
But no, this was very fun. It was a very big learning experience for all of us, being the first event, and I'm very excited to take everything that we learned and all the things that we did wrong and all the things that we did right and bring it into whatever we do going forward.
I'm very excited for the next event.
Yeah, me too.
He's so convincing.
Or he is a demanding boss, let's be real.
I would never. Okay, in my defense, I'll be like, Volt, how does this sound? And Volt will be like, fuck, son of, god damn it. I'll be like, Volt, you don't have to. If that's too much. And he's like, I already did it. And I'm like, what?
It took me 30 minutes. I hate you.
This is amazing.
It's very accurate.
All right.
Volt is very Urpal, and we love
Ori
him
knows
for
all
it.
the people with purple,
Aw.
I think.
Chad, I really like purples. I don't know what it is. Okay, fuck me. Goodness, when I'm doing professional events, I need to not cuss as much. I need to not cuss as much in general. I feel like I can create savory commentary. Okay.
When you asked me to help commentate, I was going to join the call cursing, so
Hail, be very scared. Or I'm sorry, hallucination in my mind, be very scared. Okay, getting on to the first set of awards. So for anybody who either wasn't a part of the initial Creative Jam, or for the people who don't remember, there are 10 community awards. So there are 10 awards that were completely voted on by the community, and there are 3 awards that were rewarded specifically by the staff members, excuse me. So we got to pick 3 people out of the people who did not win. So first that happened was the voting. Everybody submitted anonymously, which is kind of a point that maybe would be worth talking about by the end of this, talking about what the whole anonymity thing was. I actually offered to go back on that about 1 day into the Creative Jam. Obviously, we didn't end up doing that, but we'll talk about, I think, some of the nuances and some of the behind the scenes at the end at the end of the announcements. But there are 10 awards that were specifically voted on by the community, and we're going to go through those one by one. And there were 3 awards that were given by us. So we decided 3 people, and the community decided the other 10 awards. And that first award here today is Comedic Genius. This one is actually a lot of fun. So for any award that doesn't specifically state what medium it is, every single one of these is applicable for a game, an art piece, a story, or a utopia module. So people were able to submit any one of those 4 types of pieces, and unless the award specifically states so, any one of those could apply. And for Comedic Genius, welcome to here. For Comedic Genius, we had Worm's Worst Stand. This was an absolutely amazing piece. I actually really, really do love this one. This one came in really early on.
Genius.
genus, and I was a really big fan. It took me so long, can I say, to realize that the silver, I saw the coin when I first saw this. I saw the little silver coin in the picture because, for anyone who doesn't know, the theme was Last Stand, and the required item is a silver coin. And I knew he had a shield. I didn't realize it was the coin. I didn't realize the coin was the shield. I'm dumb, chat.
No, I didn't. I just processed it when you said that. So
That's hilarious. This was an awesome piece. I actually really love this. This looks super polished, may I say. And I'm so happy to see a comic strip.
it's so cute.
What's up,
it's
Sage?
so
Sage.
well done.
Sage, that's actually my wife. My wife is is Voltaic Mulu, the artist behind Wormsworth Stand.
I did not know that when I voted for it. And this was a community vote, and honestly, deserved. This was awesome, dude. This looks so polished. I am a
And
big
it was
fan of this.
also, I think, the first submission that we got, so very on time as well, which is pretty
The
cool.
second one, the first
one
one
was everything is canon.
Yes.
I don't count. I'm not counting that one.
Wizrad had the ability to submit one piece. All right. And
She should be in chat, Moonshi.
or that doesn't count. I think it counts. I think it was beautiful. I'm gonna be so real with you. I was actually tempted to vote for it. I'm like, if nothing, it was innovative. It was surprising. It was bold, and it was innovative. Just saying, for anyone who hasn't seen Everything is Canon, you should go to the website, click on events, and check it out. Two pieces. That's right.
It's wonderful and it's amazing and it's very. What?
Bumblebee Bunny, welcome in. How's it going? I was actually just lurking in your stream, Bumblebee. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. We're doing a little mini award ceremony for the people for the Myramyth Creative Jam that happened just about a week ago. That just got wrapped up on the website. So thank you so much for joining us. Hello. I hope your streams went well. If I could have a moderator shout out Bumblebee for me, that would be super awesome. I hope stream went well for you. Most on theme. So again, our theme for this creative jam was Last Stand, and the required item was a silver coin. So the
30
idea.
seconds after seeing the announcement.
Hey Ori.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the shout out, but a clip's gonna pop up, so you're gonna have to
Thank you.
probably stop
Yeah,
talking.
go for it.
Okay.
Hands up for clips
Aw.
up, chat.
Thank you.
Game is this? I have no idea what game this is. This looks like a lot of
I
fun,
have
though.
no idea either.
Yeah, let me just use the
clip.
shotgun right now.
Oh, Outer Worlds?
Is this Outer Worlds?
It looks like it might be Outer Worlds. I haven't played Outer Worlds, but I see space and it looks Bethesda EE.
Spess. Thank you so much, Bumblebee. I really appreciate you being here.
I think
It's
so.
gonna replay the clips.
What if I'm hungry for
I gotta fix it again.
No.
I was about to say that Skyrim, and then I see a screwdriver. It's not,
My
not
favorite Skyrim item. What's a single sentence? Okay. Most on theme for the Creative Jam. The theme was Last Stand, and the required item was a silver coin. So, the goal of Most on Theme was who was able to represent that theme and the required item the best, and hopefully the most creative method possible. So, let's see who won this one. This story is actually really cool. So a bounty hunter story, unfortunately, I'm gonna really struggle to show you guys stories as well as, you know, pieces of art and games and things like that. I'm gonna show you guys just a quick little reference of it. Whoopsies. A quick little reference of it. But you guys should absolutely go check this out for yourself and give it a little bit of a read. This is a little bit of a desert drama, and I was a big fan of this personally. I think a lot of people had some really cool endings to their stories and really cool ways of utilizing the thematics. I'm a big fan of it.
This was honestly one of my favorites. I was really happy that this one won this category in specific, because while I feel like it wasn't like it didn't take like Last Stand super literally, it put a really interesting twist on what a last stand could mean in different contexts, and I liked that a lot. I thought that element of it was really neat.
Yeah, it was. I mean, all the stories that we got were very well done.
Moon Boy
think-
Targonian just cheered
Yeah,
1,000
I
bits.
enjoyed all of them.
Gimme green
Quite a bit.
blank.
Thank you so much for the. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold on. I have to say this differently. 8, 9, 10. I think that's 10. Recounting. There we go. What the hell, Moon Boy? I can't believe you would do that. Fucking 1,000 biddies. You son of a bitch. Just because you do that, just because you did that, I'm gonna put 10 rocks in the biddy jar, the green ones, specifically as you asked, as punishment. And now green's winning, Moon Boy. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to be professional, says Ori. Not 5 minutes later, calling someone a son of a bitch.
Moon Boy, you're an asshat. I love you. Thank you.
It didn't get any better.
Hey, listen, if I'm going to break my professional character, I'm gonna make use of it while it's cracked. Let me say the fuck word a few more times, then I should be good to go.
You have to add word after.
Oh, sorry, let me say the fuck.
Better. That's what I meant.
All right, guys, up to the next one. Next category, and we see most appealing. This one was actually really interesting me. Thank you, chatbot. Thank you, chatbot, for that. Most appealing. Now, there wasn't a lot of commentary on what this meant, and I think there was a lot of really good submissions for this. There was a lot of things that could have won for this. I was really struggling to figure out what to vote for most appealing.
LMAO.
Because a story can be really appealing, and people got really innovative with how they did their stories. Games can obviously be very appealing. Utopia setups and Utopia modules and tools can be really appealing. Art can obviously be very appealing. So this was a really tough one for me because there were a lot of really good contenders for this, in my opinion. But our winner for most appealing was For the Empire. This is one of those examples of a story that really kind of put a little bit of innovation into this, and I am a huge fan of it. So much so that I don't have to read it to you, and you can probably catch what makes this story really interesting right off the bat. This was a really cool, innovative story, in my opinion. If you guys haven't already, I would highly advise checking out these stories and taking a read for yourself. You can go on the website and check them out. For the Empire was a really cool story, and I really like what she did here.
Oh yeah,
Big
I'm
agrees.
I'm a big fan of anything that's Empire, Imperium related, because it's. I'm also just a sucker for stories related to elves, whether it be good elves or bad elves, and yeah.
As someone with, small attention span, like most of us these days, having like a
Interesting.
story
For
that
the Empire
uses
was
the
the story
different
with the
like
most
kinds of
submissions.
text for different things, really like breaks up the page even just to a point where it feels less intimidating to read, because you kind of have these like segments of it and these like checkpoints that you get to where
LOL.
it's like, ooh, the font swapped. This is so cool. And even just something like that, I feel like made the story very compelling in its own way.
I think it really
Yeah,
did.
absolutely. I was really neat having. I think more books and literature should take that to heart. It's a lot more fun. Although it's hard to read sometimes when you're half dyslexic like I am.
There's a concept that I really love, and I'm gonna pull up the website real quick to show you guys, for anybody who hasn't seen it so far, where you can see the submissions and look at them for yourselves. But there's this concept that I really love called cannibalizing your medium that I am such a big fan of.
Are the stories still on the website so we can read them?
They are, in
I
fact.
haven't had time to read the stories that were submitted.
So if you were to go to the Myramyth website right now, which is the link that's just got posted, you can do !website or go to myramyth.com. Go to events, click explore, and view submissions, and you can see that they're highlighting as we reveal who's winning right now. So the one that we were just talking about is For the Empire, and if you click download right now, you'll get that same PDF that I was just looking at right there. Back over here you go. But what I was referencing is this concept called cannibalize, or that I've lovingly called cannibalizing your medium, which is basically using your medium in a way that was not intended for. One of my favorite examples of this is like In Space with Markiplier, or like A Date with Markiplier, where you use YouTube, where he used YouTube in a way that it obviously wasn't intended for. There's an expected method when it comes to writing, when it comes to
Or you
creating,
might
when it
be
comes
able
to
I
film.
just don't how to take off time. Yes, the great Ori Cannoli.
Truly. What am I taking time off for?
Moonboy didn't say anything for a while, and when people don't say anything, I just throw it on the timer, and then they ask to bank it, and I don't know how to take something off the timer.
Oh, it's sub add time and then just put a negative number in.
Okay.
When it comes to virtually any type of medium, there's an expected format, right? Just through tradition and time, there's a way that people expect things to be, and breaking that mold and cannibalizing your medium, quote unquote, to me is really interesting, and it really puts an innovative spin on how you do things, and I think the For the Empire did a really good job at that. Congratulations to Trank. All right, for our next one, we have Biggest Heart Wrencher. I was really interested in this being a category to begin with. Like when this was a category, I was really interested in how people were going to interpret this. And once we see the winner for this, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's really cool. I'm really happy with what came out of this personally.
This is my personal favorite category because I love angst, as everyone should know. So I was really excited what people would make for this.
Tragedy is my favorite genre, chat, which is awful for you guys, but that's fine.
We all thought XD.
And for the winner of Biggest Heart Wrencher, it was For Him by Cobbs. Oh my goodness, dude, this was crazy. What a piece, dude. Oh my goodness. When I saw this, I was like, holy hell, dude. This had me reeling for a little bit. What a well done piece. What a statement, no less, may I say. Holy hell. This is definitely trying to say something. What it's saying, I will let you guys leave to your own interpretation. I don't know how well you guys know what that armor is, but for those who do know, I think they can figure it out. I think they know.
Okay.
I think they know. For those who know, they know. If you don't know, consider asking, I would say. This is a really, really cool piece. And like I said, it's an extremely bold statement that I am very excited about.
And such great use of limited color palette. You know, you've got just that splash of red for all the blood, and the highlights on the metal pieces are just really well done. It's genuinely a great artistic piece.
It really is. I'm quite a big fan of it. May I say, this is one detail that I just caught, and I didn't even realize, but Erikoth is wearing the scarf instead. Erikoth is holding onto the scarf. That's really interesting.
No, there are so many little pieces in this. I think as well, there's a piece of cloth that Lamp
Yes,
is holding
he's wearing
onto
the
as
scarf,
well.
Yuwu.
I believe, if I remember correctly, it's small on stream, but there is so many little
right.
details of this that are so good. Even the coin, like, is a thing that exists in the campaign. And yes, this art is so immaculate. I love it so much. This is such like a good potential future, potential alternate universe way of things. It's very neat.
Oh my god, it is torn. It's torn to shreds. Holy hell. This is really cool, dude. This is really neat. I am such a fan of this. And may I say, little Easter egg, isn't it funny that Cobbs came up with the design for the silver piece in Utopia? That's like cheating with extra steps. Cobbs, usually, if you're gonna cheat, you probably want to put less effort into things, not make really cool designs. Dummy. Thank you so much, Cobb, for your submission. Absolutely amazing for Biggest Heart Wrencher. I love this. Deserve W indeed. All right, next category up, chat. Next category is most lore accurate. Can I just say so? Son, let me tell you something. This was a crazy category. Honestly, having this be a community voted category is kind of hilarious. And I was a little bit scared because I'm like, when you say most lore accurate, this is technically being a voted category. It's subjective what comes up here. You know what I mean? What ends up winning. But how surprised was I when the winner of the most lore accurate is exactly the one I would have picked. No, the Wayward did not win this. Sheesh. Chat, for most lore accurate, I highly advise taking a peek at this story. Highly advise taking a peek at it. At the bridge.
I doubt a one-sentence text file would win. My
goodness. Holy hell, Eco. What a wonderful job you did. Huge props. Huge props, dude. Oh my goodness.
And I believe we are allowed to say this. There were puzzle coins spent on getting it as lore accurate as possible.
And they did a good job. They did a good job, honestly. Down to just character interpretation. There are very few things I would change about it personally.
This story was so fun to read for me. You know, based on the characters that are in it, obviously, there's a lot of characters there that are very near and dear to me, and I don't know if I would have been able to characterize them any better.
It was
wild.
Crazy how well this was done, honestly. I really hope that Eco submits this. Honestly, I feel like it would be kind of neat. I'm not saying this is any type of promise, but I think it would be cool if this was the first canonized story on the Myramyth.
Or stop talking.
Listen, the process isn't always that simple, but I think it's neat. I think it's neat, chat. All right, we have another one. Community Innovator. This was a fun one. I personally am a huge fan, again, as I've talked about, when it comes to cannibalizing your medium. So Community Innovator was a very special award in my opinion. The community said that the biggest community innovator was, in fact, insert a coin to continue. Trank, you're here again. Could you stop showing up? This was a really fun concept.
Well,
I'm actually a really big fan of insert a coin to continue. I thought this was really cool. I do believe I voted for this, but I don't think I voted it for community innovator if I remember correctly, but I did vote this because I really like this concept. The idea behind insert a coin to continue, as you guys can probably tell, it is a Utopia talent tree. But it pantomimes the idea that you're playing your Utopia character through an arcade cabinet. I don't know if this is exactly what Trank was intending, but at least the way that I've interpreted it is as if you're playing Utopia through an arcade cabinet. And in order to keep your character alive, you can do things like spend in-game money, I should say, this silver coin that you gain through this talent tree, usually through great sacrifice. You get to spend these huge, massive sacrifices for temporary methods to save your life. And it's like inserting a coin to continue when you die. It's really cool. I am one of the ones that I thought was really interesting is the talent called self-commodification. And the ability is that you sacrifice a talent to get a silver coin. And again, remember, a silver coin is required to resurrect you if you die, and there's nobody else there to help you. Insert a coin to continue. So the silver coin is your quarters per se at this arcade cabinet. And self-commodification is so funny, dude. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, this entire tree would make it easy possible to be a single player
Actually,
experience.
yeah. No, that's honestly a really good point. I didn't even consider that, but you're right. No, absolutely. You basically get a self-revive mechanic.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
No, I thought this was actually a really neat concept.
I will say in general, because some of the people are like, yeah, this is like really, like maybe not as balanced as like Utopia is. I think that's like to be expected. A lot of these things, when we're looking at, you know, stuff that people are creating in literally a week or less, it's not expected to be the most balanced piece of content out there. There's no time to play test anything. There isn't even really a way to play test it with the way that this event was
100%.
created. So we're looking at like, you know, how polished is it? How good are the concepts and stuff like that?
Exactly.
Balance is really hard to figure out in a week.
You won something.
So when it comes to Utopia modules, we're not expecting super crunchy numbers and everything to line up perfectly. It's not going to, and that's okay. Conceptualization is the most important part. Welcome, Iniko, and congratulations. For the next one, chat, we have the 3 Staff's Choice Awards. I'm really excited for this. This was unsurprisingly an extremely tough thing. It was super tough to try to figure out who's going to be the final 3 out of those who did not win. There are 4 more community awards following these 3 staff choices, but just so you know, these staff choices were excessively difficult. For our first one, we have Akazo's Last Stand. I really hope I pronounced that correctly. This was really cool. I did not recognize this artist. I will say that art is one of those things that even through the anonymity shield, it was sometimes possible to tell who the artist was if you just recognized their style well enough.
GG,
and I
mate.
didn't recognize this. This was really cool. And one of the things
_the_abyss D
that was brought up to me that I thought was super interesting is the amazing use of a limited color palette. This was really cool. I think that using an art piece to show Last Stand, to use the silver coin, and also being down to only completely monochrome
style, lol.
only pure monochrome plus a single accent color. First of all, that's like the Myramyth shtick. That's like the whole thing. Utopia is literally monochrome with blue as the accent. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased.
I haven't seen enough of Cobb's work to know their art style.
We're biased, but it's okay. We're allowed to be biased.
This was an amazing piece. I really like the composition on this personally.
I honestly just really like the way that they drew the silver coin. Like, within the color palette that they did it, it's like, it's fun. It's a little abstract. It's but it expresses it well enough to be like, oh, there's the silver coin. I liked that a lot.
Piper also agrees on the silver coin concept. Thank you, Piper. All right. Our next staff's choice. Rix is Rixing. The final hard lines. Congratulations. This was a really cool and a very well done piece right here. I just want to say I love the fact, good job finding the exact font and using the exact methodology that we created, the AG
good job, fiance.
AG technical guide. Well done. You did a great job in replicating it. This is very similar to exactly how I would have done it when I was writing technical stuff for the AG. Piper, you like it too?
I use it everywhere now.
You like it too, Piper? Oh my goodness, Lexend is the best font in existence. Changed my mind.
I agree. I've been aboard the Lexend train for a while now.
It's so bad, dude. It's such a good font. This talent tree, or set of, I should say, set of hard lines, the final hard lines, is the color combinations that don't match the endo-exo pairs. So for instance, you have the purple-blue hard line, you have the blue-orange hard line, you have the purple-orange hard line, so on and so on. So you have double endo pairs and you have double exo pairs. It is a really interesting concept. You do see Our Last Stand right here. Final, I'm sorry, my train of thought just absolutely lost there. Stealth casters, you get a lot of really interesting pairings. Paladin was really fun. It was really cool to see a Paladin. Paladin is one of my old favorite go-tos back when I played D&D. Skirmisher. These are actually some working titles that we almost use in actual Utopia. And these are really cool concepts in my opinion. I really love this.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't look like a genuine entry when it came through looking just like the AG. It looked like somebody accidentally copied paste stuff, and that's just how good it is. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like, I'm sure this wouldn't stand for everyone that hasn't had access to the AG, but you know, as someone that uses the AG a lot, using a formatting that everyone is already familiar with made it a very seamless read. There are ways to format it which are great, but like for this community specifically, using that formatting was just like so nice on like just a purely like ease of like access level.
Oh, yeah.
And I can say there were like 2 Utopia submissions that I had the most fun reading through, and this was absolutely one of them. I was on a call with Ori as I was reading this, and there was so many times it'd be like, oh my god, this concept is so cool. Like this would be so good for like this character. And when there's an expansion that can make me be like, makes me start thinking about like how I would utilize that in different ways, that's when I'm like, okay, this is good. This has very much piqued my interest, and there are things that I like want to take from this.
The use of the silver coin in this was very clever, may I say. The Quartermaster's hard lines go in order: copper coin, silver coin, gold coin, with their final specialist talent being called platinum coin. Well done. Very, very clever utilization of that. I absolutely love that. Happy birthday, Nebula. Have a good one. I'm going to talk to you guys about this. For everyone who submitted something, winner or otherwise, no matter what, if you guys would, please submit this stuff to the website. I love to see the community stuff, the community interaction, what you guys have made, and just showing off how creative you guys are. Please submit the stuff. Utopia stuff to the workshop, stories to the Myramyth side of the website. Please, guys, post this stuff up. Show it off. Show it off. We have one more Staff Choice Award. I'm very excited to announce the Resplendence Talent Tree. This was a really cool one. We did get a lot of Utopia submissions, which I was kind of surprised by. I wasn't expecting a ton of Utopia submissions, but Utopia submissions ended up being very popular. Resplendence was a really interesting concept. Where the idea was essentially turning silver pieces, your in-game currency, into actual effects, down from some of my favorite titles: Hostile Takeover, Solicit Capital, and Panic Buy. Absolutely love this idea. Putting a huge amount of emphasis on what money does in the game, or giving you a talent tree where you can actually leverage money in the game in a way that the game does not do that. For anybody who's played Utopia, you probably know that money has kind of as much power as the GM says it does.
Could do this stuff.
If that makes sense, right? Like money is only worth what the GM says the market value is. This says, no, here's a mechanical use case for money. No matter what the GM says, you can spend your money on something and to get serious real effects. Panic Buy's ability is if your DHP would be reduced to 0 or less, you may consume an amount of currency equal to 250 times your level in silver pieces. Chat, that's a lot. If you do, your SHP, DHP, and stamina are fully restored. Instead, you may use this ability every 24 hours. If you're rich enough, you just don't die. Kinda neat. It's kinda cool. That's really expensive, chat. That is the value of 2.5 mythical items at level 100. Given that's level 100. However, that's still the value of a legendary item at level 10.
Close device if it was paid to win.
So
I have to
That's
say,
good.
I think Panic Buy might be
Holy
one
heck.
of my favorite names for a talent ever, right after Friend Shaped.
Friendship. So
no,
good.
that's actually pretty fair. I think this is really cool.
Panic Buy is such a silly name, and it makes me so happy.
Utopia
I'm
turns
a
pay to
fan
win.
of hostile takeover.
You know, I kind of like the idea that you take this or insert a coin to win, either Resplendence or insert a coin to win, and you just trade the coins with actual money, and it's like pay $5 actual and you just don't die instead.
Oh, that's terrible. Although GMs would be making bank.
Yes.
So
Chat.
I will be
if you don't
implementing
want
this.
if you don't want your favorite NPC to die, make sure to figure out what Elf's Venmo is.
That's called bribbery.
Absolutely.
That's so funny. Bribbery. Bribbery. Swindler is familiar, isn't it, Ashton? You nerd. Gain 2 points favor on tests to negotiate prices of goods and services. I love this, honestly. I'm actually a big fan of this. I would play with this. I would absolutely play with this talent tree. I would make a character around this. I would love to make a combat merchant. That sounds really funny. Microtransactions Utopia. For anyone who's curious, no, we are not putting microtransactions in a TTRPG. In case that wasn't obvious, we are not going to do that. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Oh, I forgot there's an ultimate specialist talent. Hold on, I kind of want to read this. Stock short. When you use the Panic Buy talent, you may choose a creature you can sense. If you do, you will immediately gain 6 turn actions, and damage you deal to the chosen creature will be doubled. If the chosen creature's DHP is above 0 after all the turn actions from this ability have been used, you will lose an amount of DHP equal to 10 times the chosen creature's DR. This damage cannot be reduced. That's actually hilarious. So when you die, and then you panic buy yourself back to life, you immediately get 6 more turn actions and double damage against a creature. And if you fail, it borderline just kills you again. That's so funny. I love this. Well done, Dino. Well, Dino. Well, Dino done. Well, Dino done. Clap and a half. Kill me.
Someone in chat said April Fool's expansion for microtransactions, and I think that's really funny.
That would actually be hilarious.
Really funny. I kind of want to do that.
I like the idea where it's like a Utopia April Fools, where it's like we do a campaign with chat, but you have to spend puzzle coins in order to get anything done.
IT was me. You can use my
That's
name.
terrible.
Dash.
I agree.
Yeah. Why? What?
Microtransactions would also be terrible. Would you rather just take people's actual money?
Then puzzle
gonna-
coins?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna wire the.
I can hand the puzzle coin back when we're done. It's a joke.
I'm kidding.
Jesus
I'm kidding.
Christ, you guys. You
Oh,
can
I was gonna
unlock-
wire the website up
Can you-
to own a way to view things if you've deposited a puzzle coin.
Can you imagine selling skins in Utopia for real money? You're like, oh yes,
Lord.
if you want your character to have a red scarf, you're gonna have to pay $2 for that to get the multicolored scarf bundle. And then they pay money, and you're like, okay, now their scarf is red. Like
Just put all of the species behind pay gates except for human.
The GM just refuses
I
that the
don't
scarf
take bribes
is
as a
red
GM, but if you
until
were
you
to
pay
bring
money.
food for
That's
game
all
day,
that
you might
changes.
find that you found a couple legendary items.
Don't give people ideas.
This is so funny,
That's
dude.
so funny.
You have to buy access to Cambions. You literally, there's just the edgy boy expansion that comes with lunar elves, demonic Cambions, and eldritch Cambions. I like this. This is a
Well,
great idea.
Well, you know I can't play without my edgy boy expansion.
Yeah. Rain would be the main character of that commercial.
That's great.
Anyways, chat, best visual art. So now we're getting into the 4 final categories, which were the best blank, the best each medium. These were, of course, we're back to the community awards. So these were all voted on by the community. Best visual art, I am unsurprised to say, what an absolute fucking masterpiece, dude. Holy hell, I can smell the blood, sweat, and tears in this. Dolne Varash Vashir Dravin. I really hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry, Munshi. Well done. Oh my goodness. This was a crazy, crazy piece. I knew Munshi was gonna cook, but dear fucking God, dude. Holy hell. Well done, dude. Munshi, if you want to give any commentary on these characters and who they are, please absolutely feel free to. This is amazing. I was really astounded by the foreground versus background, kind of like the dynamic clarification between those two. The flags are absolutely gorgeous. Anytime somebody prints something on folded cloth, it makes my heart churn.
Where did you learn
the
that,
best way.
Screentop mate?
And the silver pieces are very, very well done. Again, using the official artwork for the actual silver pieces is really, really smart. This feels like one of those pieces that I can kind of just stare at, and the longer I stare at it, the more that happens. Well done. Absolutely amazing, amazing piece. I will post the art and answer questions. Absolutely, Munshi. Absolutely. So if you guys have questions about who these characters are, maybe go ask the artist. Gorgeous work. Gorgeous work. The flags are really cool, dude.
I mean, it's Munchi. You know, what else do I have to say?
That's fucking hilarious. And I'm pretty sure I know what these 5 flags are too. This is really cool to see designs for these. It's actually really, really cool to see the designs for these. I'm really happy to see this. If you guys have been around for Pi's Redemption and Pi's Return, you might have an idea of what these are.
I helped my competition win.
But
LOL.
if not,
GG mate, deserved.
really cool. You guys should ask. You guys should ask. It is really cool. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well done. Kill me. I love how Rix is just slandering sectlings right now. My hyper... What, are you in the future? Was it announced yet? What?
No, it was not.
Let's talk about best game. Chat, next category up, best game. There was a few games which were really interesting. I had never used the programs that got utilized for this. Some people asked me, they're like, hey, can I use this, external program to make a game? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. The categories for this were purposely relatively lax.
There was
art,
3.
Art was allowed to be a comic strip. It was allowed to be music. It was allowed to be, obviously, visual art as well. Games, if you wanted to utilize some other platform or anything like that, it was absolutely usable that way. And I really like what people did with it. In fact, as an example of this, congratulations to Last Stand for best game. Well done, dude. Well done. I was actually such a fan of this game. I got lost in this game for a little while. Like, I was sticking around playing it for a little bit. Like I said, I had never used Screentop before, so I was a little bit like, it took me a second to learn how this specific application works, but the rules on this are so good, dude. The rules on this would have been a real game. If this was a real game on game store shelves, I would be playing it. I would genuinely be playing it. I have a closet full of board games, and this would have been one of them. What a cool utilization of the 6 monocolors that everybody knows about. Oh my goodness, dude. Good stuff. Good stuff. The idea behind this game, and please, if you want to correct me on this, you absolutely can, but I'm going to explain it from how I understood the game and the way that I played it. And frankly, when it comes to a solo game, I'm actually pretty okay with realizing that I was playing the rules wrong the entire time, as long as I had fun doing it. So in Last Stand, you're going to take 3 what are called stands, which are basically relatively permanent furniture pieces that you're going to utilize that basically decide whether you win or lose the game. As well, you're going to be taking on crises. So as the game goes on, you're going to come across these crises that come up, and they'll be rolled in random positions. So if you imagine a 5 through 5 grid, I would roll 2 dice. Whoa, oh, I didn't even know you could do that in this game. How do you roll again? It is F. So I roll 4-4, for instance. So when I go to pull my crisis, I'm not doing this order, by the way. It would end up right here in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4th position. Now, if I had an object here, which are helpful items that you will get populating throughout the game, if I had my plastic table in 4-4, then this crisis would actually cover it up and destroy it. So the goal is to strategically place your stands and your crises and use what are called, I believe they're called function dice, if I remember correctly. Yep. You use these function dice every single round to try to slowly deal damage to these crises.
Just nullify until moved.
Oh, gotcha, Donut. My bad. It doesn't destroy objects. You cover them up. And they don't do anything until the crisis is solved. So you basically deal damage. One of the examples, unsurprisingly, is the red one, where if I were to roll my function dice, let's say this was one of my 5 function dice, and I rolled this red 4. I can use this spinning tray display rack ability to deal X damage, in this case 4, with my red die to this or to this. So basically, it'll go from 5 HP to 1 HP. And once I get this all the way down, I can destroy this crisis and get it off the board. Now, of course, the crises are going to keep happening until we've gone through this entire crisis deck, and either the crisis is going to kill your last stands, or you're going to kill the crisis. Notably, when you do run out of stands, so like let's say it keeps dealing damage to all my stands and these 2 die, we now have a last stand ability. Really clever use of that. I like that a lot. All functions on this card deal twice as much damage. So if this is my last stand, literally, like I have no other stands, it's the last one alive, then I get a special little boon, and each one has this, which is really, really cool. I love this game, honestly. If you guys haven't, I would highly advise checking out this game. This was a lot of fun for me. This is something that I would genuinely do in my free time. I would love to have this in a box. This was really fun, dude. This was really, really fun.
It's quite fun.
I agree. It was really fun. Well done, dude. Well done. I was exceptionally impressed by this game. I was very, very impressed by this game.
Donut, if you get the chance, if you're able to, I would highly recommend putting that into Tabletop Simulator.
Yes, absolutely.
It'd be a great, perfect platform for that.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree to that. I think that Tabletop Simulator is a great way, and a lot of people in this community especially, because it's a common way that I show how to play Utopia. You don't have Tabletop Sim? I'll get back to you on that. If you ever do get the chance to. I would personally advise, like, Tabletop Simulator is a good way that it's one of the ways that I personally express how to play Utopia. I play Magic the Gathering on Tabletop Simulator as of recently, and I'm gonna be so real with you guys. If we have extra time today, I might just show you, because I just want to talk about my Magic decks. All right. Hey, how's it going? Best written work. There were a lot of really fun stories. I am really excited for this one. When I was doing a lot of the voting, I chose not to look at anybody. Like, I didn't want to know any of the authors. I didn't want to know who made what or anything like that. And when I did figure out who the author for this was, I was so surprised. This is wild, dude. This story showed one of the coolest... I
didn't even bother reading them, though.
Most interesting endings I had possibly considered. It took such a turn that I was not expecting. You did so good with the tension. You did so good with mapping everything out and making me feel the way that I'm sure that you completely expected me to feel. Congratulations to Savings and Losses by Forager. I had no idea this was yours. I thought I would have been able to smell your work from a mile away. I had no idea, dude. This was awesome. Oh so my true. Goodness. The ending swept me off my feet. This was awesome, dude.
I was in the same boat. I think I'm actually the one that told Ori that it was Foragers, and I did not realize it was Foragers until I was making this slideshow, and I was like, oh!
So good.
I didn't catch that. This was definitely the story that, like, after I went through and I read all of the submissions, and then I had to, like, come back and do the voting, it's the one that, like, stuck in my brain the most as, like really cool foreshadowing for what was happening, very unafraid to murder. Like, did not pull any punches. I really liked the way that the plot was created and how it unraveled over the course of the story.
Even just a story that's less than, some thousand words, this is not a story I want to spoil. This is not a story I'd want to spoil to you guys. I think that this is an amazing experience for how compact the story is. Really good read. I think you guys should take a peek at it if you haven't. If you haven't already, I would highly advise going and take a peek at it. Forger, I would love if you'd be willing to post this up on the website. It would be really cool. Well done. Alrighty, guys. I think we only have one more. I would say if I didn't know no better, I would say that we only have one more remaining. I'll be re-editing it and put it on the website. Let's go. Let's go. That's another big thing, of course, is that if you guys have work that you do want to submit, but you want to just take some time to refine it and just add a little extra bits and bobs to it, obviously Creative Jam.
One remains.
Yes, one remains. If you guys want to add some extra bits and bobs to it, add your own refinement to it, everything, whatever you need to do. Obviously, you guys only had 1 week to do all of this, so you guys did absolutely amazing for 1 week. Holy hell, you guys did a good job. One reward remaining. We do have, in fact, only the Utopia trophy left. And our final winner for the Creative Jam Myramyth 2026 is A-Line Growth.
Wait, no.
Congratulations to Wizrad. Good job, dude. This was such a cool one.
I forgot Ori didn't make the A-Line Growth.
May I say, you forgot that I didn't make A-Line Growth. That's saying something, isn't it? Good job, dude. I remember before I got a chance to look at this, before I had taken like a peek at it, and I was like, oh, dude, this concept is really cool. And I had walked away and I was going through the submissions so that I could do my voting. Rain was on a call with me and he was just telling me like all of these abilities, and I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I'm like, yo, that's really cool. Yo, that's really cool. Yo, that's really cool. This is a ton of content. This is a ton of content. You have root perks. You have root perks for endos and exos. Excuse me, archetypal perks that actually name all of the sub-regressions for all of the archetypes. You have subtrait-based perks. You just have a whole ton of stuff that just kind of fills in the gaps for Utopia and just various perks that you might want to utilize. It has its own system for how you utilize these perks that innovates on the talent tree system, that doesn't use the talent tree system, that made its own methodology of doing that. It is really cool, as well as a ton of miscellaneous perks, of course, as well. This is cool, dude. This is really, really cool. And it has an achievement system. Can I just say that an achievement system is so fucking neat in a TTRPG? This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I love how much attention to detail there was, how well you utilize, like, these are the actual runes, chat. These are the actual runes that are used in Utopia. I don't know how many of you know what these look like.
Staff award and most appealing.
This is the most official.
They're in the core guide. So.
They are in the core guide. No, 100%. And I get that. They're also on the Utopia spell cards. But just utilizing those and being so accurate to the source material, I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. I thought it was really cool. I love the attention to detail that you used here. You used a lot of terminology that I'm sure a lot of people never would have heard of. If I were to tell you, if I were to ask somebody what's the partial regressions to Captain and what's the full regression to the Captain, I'm sure Ashton, shut up, nobody would know. Well done, dude.
When I was reading through this, it was just like, it just kept going. Like, I was like, there's more. Oh my god, there's more. And I was like, oh, they did archetype ones. And then I get to it, and I'm like, they did every regression of every archetype. That's so many talents.
It was so thorough.
It's, and I like the titles system. I forget if they're called titles, but like the titles and the achievement system are like stuff that I like genuinely might implement into games that I play in the future. Because like for me at least, it's like I am such a fiend when it comes to
50 of each achievement and title.
Achievements in games. Like I love having that like completionist, like I want to get all of these, and putting that into a TTRPG is like just scratches my brain in such a fun way. And the title system I feel like is so cool for those like thematic moments when like a character does something really neat and you want to reward them for it in some way, but it's hard. Like giving them something super in-game might feel a little bit contrived. Giving them these titles for having some cool character progression that have these little like boons attached to them is such a neat idea. I love it so much. This was like, I thought that this, like, I opened it and I saw how many pages it was and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna take so long to read, and I was thoroughly enjoying it the entire time.
Honestly, I really love this because this is the type of concept that I would want to have in like modules and stuff like that. When it comes to developing Utopia, it's hard to introduce a concept like this, but it's such an important concept in my opinion. You know, an example for people who play D&D, the dragon tattoos.
When I opened it, I thought I am not winning Utopia trophy.
The legacies, any form of like legacy ability, backgrounds even, but even to more substantial versions of that where you get real mechanical benefit. An example would be the downfalls from Pious Return, something that's very specific to your character, you know what I mean? It's really
Ian
difficult.
has a boon of sorts.
It's
He
extremely
gets 2 favor on bondage tests.
It's extremely difficult to make something universal that you could introduce into any campaign rather than a specific setting. And I'm gonna be honest, Wizrad, you did it. You did a great job at it. Well done, dude. It's the perfect blend of GM fiat and mechanical universal ability. Really cool stuff, dude. Really cool stuff. Can I just say, I remember Rain and I getting a little bit giddy over just looking at things like Observant versus Gullible being 2 different abilities that you can have. Observant being gain 2 points of favor on tests made to locate hidden creatures or objects, not including foraging. This is really funny because this actually has a really profound effect on natural stealth tests, which I think is funny. But Gullible is also an ability where you gain a point of favor on tests made to complete a task according to the directions of another creature. This is really cool.
Gullible. It's so good.
It's so funny because it's also really useful. Like, example of this, I'm gonna gush for a little bit, chat, and I'm gonna get a little bit mechanical and nerdy here. If you had a noble who was using leader on you and you had to go make a test, you get points of favor just because they're using leader on you, because it's them instructing you to do the thing. That's really cool. That's a really cool ability. I don't know, dude. I think it's just neat to utilize your upsides and your downsides in a piece of content like this. Hi, Brandon.
Please read Apathetic, because Apathetic is so good.
Okay, Intuitive. First of all, Intuitive is gain a point of favor on tests made to get information from another creature if you have 3 or more renown with it. I'd love to see their renown system. Apathetic. When you would make a test to avoid a detrimental effect, before you roll, you may choose to fail. When you choose to fail this way, regain 5 DHP, 10 SHP, and 15 stamina.
It's just so, I loved seeing the abilities that were created tied to these different things. Like that's just such a funny thing to tie to Apathetic. Like it's so perfect.
Yeah, you get rewarded for just fucking off.
That's fine. Yeah,
That's
it's so good.
funny.
Reading through this made me so happy in so many different ways. I love, obviously love the compass. It was so fun to see things being tied to the compass in ways like this, and just there were so many abilities that I was looking at and I was like, I want this on this character, I want this on this other character. Like, oh, there's so many cool things you could do with this. It was very neat.
That's really cool, yeah. I'm a big fan. I like that Judgmentalists gain a point of favor on tests made to reduce another creature's
and we are
renown.
forever away from arrest. I choose to lie badly.
It's so good.
I choose to lie badly. Melancholy's gain a point of favor on tests made against creatures that have a DR equal to or greater than twice your level. I love the interpretations of these. I don't know, man. Unsurprisingly, I like gushing about Utopia content. The art is really good, by the way. I really love what you did here. I like the stylization of this. I hope that you upload this. I know that you mentioned that you were going to after finishing some additional content that you hope to do for it. This is really cool, dude. This
it was
is really
also
cool.
presented, like, I haven't even said this, but like it was presented in a very appealing way, right? Like it's not just a Word document. It's very readable. It's obvious what's happening at any given moment. It like keeps your attention. It's very, very well done.
Hold on, I'm reading Mastermind for unbiased reasons. Mastermind has a double damage effect against a specific creature. I love this. This is just engineered Bane on a stick, and it makes me happy. Spend 1 minute to study a creature that you can sense, and then for 1 hour, you deal double damage against them, up to once per creature. Fuck yeah. Fuck you in specific. Servant is point of favor on assisting creatures, which I love. Will or strength test to resist an effect. You may spend 8 stamina to make an intellect test instead. Oh my god, wait, you can use engineering against magic. God, I love that. Oh, Rebel perk is so good, dude. Tyrant, if you are within 1 meter of 3 or more hostile creatures when you make an attack, you may spend 15 stamina, 10 SHP, or 5 DHP to deal an additional 15 damage of a similar type to that attack. Oh, that's so funny. Tyrant has the ability to spend all of your resources to just tack on as much damage as possible. That's amazing. I love this.
Sounds like a mastermind.
If you guys want to go check out more, if you guys want to see your favorite archetypes or your personal archetypes or what match your character the best, go to the website and check it out for yourself. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been so cool to be able to run an event like this. How cool is it to be? How cool is it to be able to run something like this? Thank you so much, you guys, for participating, for being so exceptionally creative. If you were one of the winners of this creative jam, I will be reaching out to you, likely on Discord, unless you prefer something else, to talk about how you guys are going to receive your awards. Congratulations, everyone. Absolutely well done. And as we said before, the website has been updated with all of the winners. Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome. So you guys can still check out all of those submissions if you would like. If you want to go take a peek-see at those submissions, everybody who participated, you can check out their entries as of right now. But if you want to check out any of the people that we were showing off today, you can see them all gold span now. A-line growth, the one that we were just looking at, you could click on it right here and just click download. Absolutely well done. Amazing stuff. Thank you guys so much. Cool stuff. You guys will also be receiving your puzzle coin, by the way. Go ahead.
All of these will be remaining up until we need to reuse the event section of the website. And even then, it will have its own archival section where you can always go back and review them. Keep in mind that in the future, larger downloads might take a while because they go into cold storage when they're archived. But yeah.
Amazing. What's
Great
up,
job,
Speedy?
everybody. This was a lot of fun.
It was. I'm going to do a little bit of an explanation of how to get stuff on the website if you are interested in posting on the website. After that, I know it's a little bit early, but it's probably going to be an earlier stream today. I'm going to go to mental health break. And then after that, if you guys are down, people in chat, or the people in the VC right now, if you guys are down, I would love to talk about some of the behind the scenes and the nuance behind running this event, what a future event might look like.
Absolutely.
I can stick around a little bit, I suppose.
Congratulations, Speedy. Holy hell, dude. Congratulations. That's huge, dude. Thank you so much, man. That's wild, dude. Good job. Could test Miracast if nothing to stream in Volts is here. I'm gonna show you guys chat just so you know. So if you guys are on the website, again, you can use the ! Website command or just go to Myramyth.com. If you have a Utopia module that you made, regardless if it didn't win, or if you're gonna make a new one on your own accord, ever at all, please consider going to Utopia TTRPG. You can click on it on the website, go to the workshop, and upload something for yourself. Just click new contribution here and post it here. This is a way that we as the developers can look at it and say, oh, this has been proved, this has been verified, so on and so on. And it's also a way for people to share all of these cool modules that you guys have made, all of this additional content that you guys have made. Again, there's a lot of pieces of content that I've seen here that I would use in my games. I like what's been done here. I like what you guys make. I would use this. If somebody walked up to me with something from the workshop and said, hey, can I run this in the game? I'd be like, yeah, dude. Out of what I've seen so far, I'd be like, absolutely. This is cool as hell. I don't know. I really think that you guys should be taking peeksies at these, uploading this amazing work. Separately, if you guys have a short story, either of your own that was uploaded to the jam, so on and so on, you guys can run over here to short stories. Go over to Community Made. You can submit it directly to us and get it posted up here on Community Made. There is a canonized section which has not been utilized yet. Yeah. But this is where you can post some of your amazing works and short stories as well. So please, guys, please consider going out and checking these out. Send something to us if you have a story that you want submitted. I really appreciate you guys. And with that, chat, this is Mental Health Break. Make sure to go grab a drink of water, go grab a snack, go brush your teeth, go do your homework, whatever you have to do to be healthy. We're going to be in the Just Chatting screen for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to get into some of the behind the scenes for running the 2026 Myramyth Creative Jam.
While Ori is going to mental health break, I want to mention the website will soon be updated to allow you to submit stories through it instead of having to send them to us directly, which will be nice and helpful. And as far as workshop content is concerned, those get verified. I try and go through them on the weekends. Sometimes there's other things going on and I can't get to it right away. But I try and get to it as quickly as I can reasonably. So not just me. Sometimes it has to go through the rest of them. But you know.
I'm going to go ahead and be right back for mental health break. I'm going to try to be super quick because, again, this is going to be a shorter stream. I'm going to go ahead and leave Rain and Volt on call. So good luck to you guys entertaining everybody on a blank screen.
At Tranquility
Don't mess
House,
up.
just curious to know what I am not accounting for. I don't want to see who voted for who.
More or
just
less
which
than you do
categories a submission got
That's
votes
the question.
for. Potato.
One thing to note about canonized stories is there's a lot more to a story being in the canonized tab than like literally just if it's canon or not. There's also things we have to think about with, like, you know, is it a polished and well written story? Because we want people to, you know, new people that are coming to the website to have a good experience with the things that they're reading that have a gold, you know, a gold sticker on them. As well as, like, are they relevant to the lore in a way that's going to be useful for someone coming in and trying to understand characters or the settings or other things like that along those lines. I know that there's probably a good handful of stories that are in the community made that are technically canon. And there has been talks about potentially moving some of those over. A lot of it is just that we've been really busy and haven't had the time to like properly sift through them and figure out what's gonna go where, but that is things that we have to think about when we're doing that as well. Excuse me, I don't know what I said.
Chunky, I appreciate you being here and hanging out, but you get in the way. I do have to say, if I did ever pick up streaming again, I'd have to have a dedicated cat cam just for Chunky.
That would be so cute.
He's such a sweetheart.
I don't know how you do it. Editing is a pain in the ass. I'm aware. I'm pain. But yes, I thank you everyone that did submit something, you know, whether you won or not. It was so cool to see all of the things that people made. It was really cool to see people, you know, putting themselves out there, working with the community to do stuff like this. Very, very happy that we got as many submissions as we did. We'd love to do something like this again in the future, and it was a really cool event, and I feel like it went relatively well, which I was very happy about. Why am I being screamed at? The song was quite scary to make. Okay, I know the song didn't win anything, but I loved the concept of that. Like a song where the singer like slowly descends into madness as the song goes on is such a neat idea. I really liked it. I would have submitted if the prompt hit my brain better. Understandable.
I was doing something and got completely distracted. Normally I would say that's not something we would probably vocally share, Sage, but we can actually genuinely say no, none of them did. Everyone adhered quite well and honestly and truly to the rules, and it was great. Yeah, right. It's really nice to see a community keep everything under control. I've been part of many communities that did not own up to the fact that they very much so broke all of the rules simultaneously. I mean, no, I don't think it did. I didn't get the final moderation pass on Here's Forager. It would have been fine for me. I don't overly care.
Yeah, and I like when we're talking about gore, we're talking about like unnecessary, overtly like disturbing, not like descriptive in a story, you know?
Yeah, it's when you use 2 paragraphs to describe how you're breaking every single bone, that's a bit much. But when it's
Sage Wordless was awesome. I'm going to gush about it because Volt won't, but genuinely it was such a fun game. The presentation of it was like really well done. It was a very simple concept. It was a 3D word search, which like in my opinion, when you are on such a limited time frame, taking a simple concept and making it into something that is like accessible and easy and fun is the best thing to do, rather than trying to shoot for something like overly complicated and having a hard time with it, especially because Volt also had to do all of the web stuff that was happening for the event as it was going on. But it was very well done. It was very fun. I had a wonderful time with it, and I am sad that we couldn't give it anything.
Sage, I have a Mac build. Unfortunately, the website, I set a 200 megabyte limit on the website's upload, and with the Mac build, it pushed it to like 206, and I just couldn't add it. If you'd like it, message me on Discord, and I can send you that Mac build if you'd like. I do wish I could take the stream from Ori just so I could show it off a bit, but I don't want to. It's not necessary. He returns. The man, the myth,
no.
the legend.
No,
I did
no.
think of a really good
don't.
story idea the day after
The
submissions
chair!
closed and might write it anyway.
Which one of you psycho people edited the short?
Edited the short? What?
It wasn't me.
The short that I very much am a part of and was not tagged or sent directly. Excuse me. Hello.
Oh, I can do that real quick.
Oh no, I found it. It showed up on my feed manually.
Oh, did it?
Like automatically, I mean. Yeah.
That's amazing. Hold on, chat. I'm showing you this. I wonder who would
At
possibly
the Forager
edit this.
56 I was settle, D.
Oh, imagine it being muted. Okay, bye.
That was easy. I am the chair. There is no more chair. Priority.
What is?
Or you've been replaced. Go back. Go away.
Okay, bye.
The chair
That was
noise
easy.
is at the end. I
am
mean,
the
come
chair.
on. There is no more chair. Priority.
What is? I fucking love this so much. That made me so happy.
Yeah.
Haha. We miss Ori being
upset
nice
about
about
it, but it was
myself.
so good.
What did he say about them? Nothing. Only awful things, Trank. I only said terrible things about what you submitted. I'm sorry. I was like, I can't believe this one. Terrible. Post on TikTok more often, so I can bug you on it. I do. I post usually 4 to 5 out of 7 days. Oops. I do not hate chat in 4K. No. First of all, this stream is in 1080p on a good day. Second of all, I don't hate chat. Thank you for the clip, Ashton. I don't like this. I don't like what that clip was. I do not hate chat. Just because I'm slandering your work and spreading misinformation about the content you create doesn't mean I hate you. It just means I'm a terrible person, chat. Don't get it twisted. What? I might need to have some words with TikTok in that case.
I had to make a new account for the jam since otherwise my name would be on it.
Yep. Yep. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about, I don't know how
Hey,
deep
Ori,
into
love
the
you.
woodworks.
Love, hee, I lied.
Oh, I love you too, Rix. I'm so glad you wouldn't lie to me about that. That would be so devastating if you were to lie to me about something like that. That would be terrible. Luckily, I know that you're telling the truth. Chat, for the people who are here, the people who are in VC right now, I don't know how much into the woodworks we want to get with it, but I would love to talk about some of the behind the scenes and what intentions would be for a future creative jam like this. One of the topics that got brought up really early into the creative jam was the fact that it was meant to be anonymous. I think that for a creative jam that has, you know, tons and tons and tons of submissions, it is a lot of fun to be able to share with people what you plan on making, to make teams, to talk about it with people. And the anonymity, in my opinion, like right off the get-go, I felt was somewhat limiting. I don't know how many people know why we made it anonymous, but one of the difficult parts is that with such a tight-knit community, I love you guys, it can be very easy for someone to win off of the fact that they're well-known in the community. And that was what we were trying to avoid, right? This was meant to be a judge of work, was meant to be a judge of talent, you know what I mean? Showing off the skills and the creative prowess that the people had when creating these things. And there's a fear, you know, that somebody who is really well revered wins because they're really well revered. You know what I mean? The anonymity mask
And yet,
was the goal against
That's-
that.
and that
Go-
is one of the reasons, especially because, and there were times where I think it wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but because the most recent quote unquote event that we had was the community awards, which was something that was kind of almost intentionally, you know, rigged towards people that were well known, right? Like that one's always going to be in a place like that when you have purely community voted submissions and nominees and stuff. So we wanted to try and avoid having like two things that felt like it was really rigged towards well-known people, like right one after the other.
Yeah. And one of the ways that we've talked about, I'm not saying that this is going to be what happens, but one of the things that we've talked about is, as Sage mentioned, you could have the awards all been purely staff chosen, and that was kind of a part of the conversation. I don't necessarily think that all of them should be, but I think that it's possible that the number of staff awards outnumbers the number of community awards. And that kind of allows for that anonymity. It's still possible for someone who is very popular to win the vote, but it's also possible that if that community member had an absolutely stellar piece of work and they were extremely skilled and talented, they could just win a staff award, and then they would technically be not applicable for a community award anymore, and it would go down the line for the community award, if that makes sense. There's definitely pros and cons to every option that we utilize, but there's a possibility that there will instead be more judged awards than community awards in the future. One of the possibilities. There might be a more elegant solution in the world, but that was one of the possibilities. When it comes to, this is a question that popped up a few times, when it comes to showing votes and what got voted for what, if you go on the website, you can see the total number of votes that something got. I don't think that we're going to give more descriptive information about this for the specific purpose that you guys are a little bit too smart for your own good, frankly. And it's very possible to reverse engineer who voted for what, at least in specific circumstances. And I don't think that's a good idea. When people vote for stuff, they should be allowed to be anonymous. You know what I mean? It should be applicable for them to vote for somebody without having to give specification on why they voted the way that they did. You know what I mean? People should be allowed the ability to be anonymous, and giving away specific category votes or giving too much information on that front kind of begins to pull away their ability to be anonymous. And even if people weren't able to completely reverse engineer it, speculation could be built very easily, and assumptions could be made, which is arguably even worse. Judge awards can be ranked after the community, so the community input racing submissions means they don't need to be highlighted by staff. That's also possible. And yes, of course, staff cannot win staff awards.
Yeah. Staff were allowed to win community awards because we obviously can't rig that. I mean, unless we just lied about the votes, but we wouldn't.
Rain, can you say that a little bit more suspiciously next time?
But yeah, my personal take on the anonymity thing, and I think we kind of realized this a day or two into the event, but I think there was kind of a talk that we had where we're like, do we want to just get rid of that rule? But it was already something that, a lot of people were asking for clarification for, and it had been put in place and spread around enough within the community that we thought it would just be confusing to be like, actually, don't worry about it, like 20 hours into the event. So we decided for this one, we were going to stick to what we said and keep it like this for this event. But I at least personally think that there's a lot of good that could come from not doing that in the future, because I think even just the idea of like, a lot of people wanted to talk about the things that they were working on and wanted to, get people's opinions and share. And there were one or two people that were talking about streaming what they were doing and things like that. And I think that even like for the sake of building hype around the event, having people be able to publicly work on what they're doing would be really neat. Now, I think a lot would have to change in the way that awards go in order to make that work still, but I do think that, especially because like in as small of a community as we are, probably like 30 to 40% of them could be figured out anyways who made them,
I think
and that's all just things we learn.
interesting. I think, again, I do think that there's pros and cons to every option. You know what I mean? I really would love, that's actually one thing that came to me, is that people came up to me and they're like, I didn't even realize that anonymity was a rule. I was planning on streaming it. And getting an amount of publicity, I feel like helps to, I guess, build more submissions, build more audience, and put more submissions into it. You know what I mean? And I think that the more splendor you can put inside the Creative Jam, and I guess realistically, the more competition you can put into it, makes it a more interesting and fun event, in my opinion. At least to me. I don't know. I like I said, that's my personal opinion about it. We have a lot of time to try to refine this process, and like we said, this is Myramyth's first event that wasn't a mystery event. You know what I mean? Oh, hi, Dino. How's it going? Welcome in. I just fucking woke up. I take the winners are out. The
You won
winners
something
did win.
plushy. Laughing face.
And indeed you did.
And Trank, one of the things that we were talking about is potentially if we were to do that, we would probably move more of the awards over to like a judging booth rather than, and then still have some things that the community vote on, but it would be a minority.
Would it be possible to
And
say Volt's idea? On the judging booth?
Has an idea?
I don't remember what it was.
Who the judges would be?
Oh yeah, I'm kind of a big fan of the concept behind, you know, whoever won a particular category in the previous event becomes the judge for the next event, and therefore becomes unable to participate themselves, but they get the opportunity to be, you know, join the judging squad, if you will.
I like that.
I personally like that idea a lot. Forcing revolution of awards and giving, you know, the ability of the previous winner who is given that, you know, that ethos and that
You won.
credibility,
Plushy.
making them a judge for the next one, and it also pulls the community back in and puts them behind the veil instead of in front of the veil, which is really cool in my opinion. I think that's a really cool way to do that. Awards can still enter everything. I guess people who got staff awards can still enter first.
To be very clear, this is us just kind of throwing our thoughts out there on how we think the event goes. We don't know when the next Creative Jam will happen, or if this is how it's going to happen. This is us just talking. So don't take any of this like to heart or seriously, as this is what the next event is going to be, please.
Next Creative Jam is tomorrow. Actually, the next event is not going to be Creative Jam. We know what the next event is going to be. I didn't say that, chat.
I mean, I don't know what I'm allowed to go into of my little paragraph I had put in to you, Ori, of my suggestions. I am curious what the community has to say while we've got participants here, you know?
I would say go for it and do it quickly before Rain becomes reasonable about it.
No, I was going to say, I feel like I want to know the community's opinion on a lot of these things. There's a chance that we might not always go with the community's opinion for many reasons, but I'm curious to see what people thought and what they feel like we could do to improve as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Yeah, I think narrowing the scope of the jam and having more of them of a smaller scope is probably a better option. When we've got, you know, instead of 4 categories, you know, game, art, written work, and utopia, we do a game jam, we do a art jam, we do a written jam. And instead of 10 community awards and 3 staff awards, we end up with, you know, 1 or 2 community awards and 2 or 3 staff awards. Kind of give that I guess they shouldn't be called staff awards, you know, if we're implementing judges from the community, that'd be more judged awards, I guess, instead of staff explicitly, right?
I think there would be something like best visual work, you know, best game, best whatever, and then the last 2 would be called community awards or community voted.
Yeah.
But
Something
the idea
that's
behind it is that it's more focused, so there wouldn't be like a best game, best written, because there would only be written.
I do
Right.
like the various awards. I do think that there should be, honestly, in my opinion, one of the things I thought about is that there should be a dynamic measure of how many awards are available, if that makes sense. Like if there's like there can only be one award per 10 submissions at minimum per se. And if there's not enough submissions, then you start pulling awards out, if that makes sense. I don't know if that works
Other
out
way
because
around.
it's really hard to announce that. Sorry, yes.
I was gonna. Yeah, because you would probably announce, hey, these, kind of like how Kickstarter does it with stretch goals. You know,
Mhm.
you mention there's X number of awards potentially, assuming there are that many submissions. Otherwise,
I agree. I have some thoughts. I think a focused jam is tricky only and purely for the fact that we're not going to be able to run these exceptionally often. Like, let's say if we're like really on top of everything and we do like 2 jams a year, which is like a lot. Like, I don't think we'll be doing 2 jams a year. And
Yeah.
if we did like, and one and they each had each category. If you were like only a writer, that means you're able to participate in a jam once every 2 years.
And we're already slated to not have another creative jam this year.
So I do think that keeping it broad is maybe not the most ideal thing in general. I think for kind of the timelines that we have, it might just feel bad otherwise.
I do want to bring something up. I know we're not slated for a creative jam, and I don't want to make any promises to anybody, obviously. But the website is fully set up for all of this. If for whatever reason we came across a dead space of like events or interesting things going on, and we wanted to throw one together quickly, it is entirely reasonable. We can have, we can get everything set up for that in a short period of time. And judging and stuff, especially when we've got a more niche environment, one or it's one category, I don't think it's unreasonable to assume we could get something spun up and professionally done in a very short amount of time.
I do think that logistics is the silent killer. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain and announce what is a logistical nightmare. You know what I mean? It looks like a thorough decision on our part because we decided it would be that way. We decided to be best. And we hide the logistics behind that. You know what I mean? So sometimes it can be difficult to do some things just because it requires a lot of manpower. It's surprisingly difficult to facilitate. Chat saying, what if we increase the amount of time available? Hey, Volt, would you like to crush all of chat streams with your next suggestion?
Yeah, so I think that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I currently think that a week is the best option. I think that if you get less than a week, different people have different schedules, and I know a lot of jams are done over like a weekend, but I do think that it's unfortunate because there are lots of people that work on the weekends, and then they're not really given that like same opportunity that other people are to have like 3 full days to do it. I do like a week. I think as soon as you start getting over a week, or even like a week is rough for this, the momentum dies out really fast. Like, when a jam is announced, everyone's excited for it, and then if they're like, okay, well, I'll do it next week. By the time next week's come, a lot of the hype has died down, and then a lot of people go, whatever, and then they don't end up doing it. And I do think that, like, a weekend really keeps the energy going. So I think that there even is an argument for a weekend compared to a week. But I think any more than that, and you just cannot carry the hype that far. I think if I understand that if you're trying to do something for every category, like, a week is not enough time, and I think that's one of the things that it's like, if you want to pour a ton of effort into something, you kind of have to pick like 1 or 2 categories, and then you just focus on those.
Yeah, a weekend is great, to accommodate schedules, and especially because we've got a surprising number of international people interested in all this and
At Diamond
participating,
Thedino plushie
which
back
honestly is
asterisk.
so incredible. As is, it's mind-boggling already. But to accommodate schedules, I think a nice balance would be 3 to 5 days. You accommodate those people who get their rush on without extending so far to a week that it's lost all momentum and energy. Not just for people that want to participate, but people that are following it. You get people that,
Mhm.
oh, that's cool. Oh, I have to wait 3 weeks to figure out who's doing what and participating and then voting. Like it becomes too much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like a 5-day span. It would be really unfortunate for like the rare person that is those 2 days off are like the 2 days, but you can only do so much. And I
Yeah.
agree that a limited and even potentially like just breaking it down even more. So it's like, okay, it's like, 5 days to do it and then like 3 days to vote or something like that and have the whole event done within a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, especially if you dedicate a stream to like going through entries, so that people can vote live. They don't. You don't have to vote on stream, Ori, but like going through them one by one. Hey, this is what this is, so everyone gets kind of a perspective, and they don't have to download everything themselves. They can kind of just follow
I
along
actually
and vote for what they
super
think.
agree with that. Like the day that things are submitted, there's a stream to go over submissions. I
Yeah.
think that's a really good idea.
That's one of the actual really weird logistical tension points, in my opinion, is that it's hard to announce a creative jam too far in advance, right? When something like Utopia drops, right? There's an entire month of campaign schedule set up for building hype, for content surrounding it, for trying to build an audience and get people excited about something that's about to drop. When it comes to a creative jam, the goal is to give you the least amount of information possible until it happens. You know what I mean? Because we don't want people to cannibalize old work for it. So we want you to be caught off guard so that you're forced to be creative about it. You know what I mean? But we can't build a campaign schedule around something that can only be announced 48 hours in advance.
And Rixit mentioned, just because he had said 1 day jam and then it got crazy talking about picoseconds. Those are things that like it's something I would personally like to discuss with the rest of the staff about. Community run. They wouldn't have awards. There'd be no puzzle coins associated. This would be purely a fun way for people to get their creative kicks off, and I think that would be something I think we could reasonably afford to do, especially if it was community run.
I think there's a lot of possibilities behind what we can do. I do want to try more events and see more things that we can manage and that we can do. Creative Jam is only one drop in a larger bucket of fun things to do. But nailing down how a creative jam would work and kind of using this as a sample for what running an event in general is like. I would love to become exceptionally more skilled in just running events. Myramyth is definitely a company that likes to do things a little bit outside the box if they can. I fucking love unorthodox gimmicks. Everybody's surprised by this. Everybody gasp. What do you think about a Utopia tournament as a community event? I love Utopia tournaments. However, Utopia tournaments are very scary. Utopia tournaments are unknowingly extremely competitive. There is a huge ceiling and a very low floor to playing Utopia competitively. I see a world where it happens. We're gonna have to be careful about that one, though.
I mean, that's what you want in a competitive game: a low floor and a high ceiling. Anybody
absolutely
can be great at it.
Min-maxing is very easy. Very easy.
Oh, but yeah,
min-maxing is very easy. However, that's the hard part, is that you have to min-max better than everybody else.
And for an unexpected opponent, you can't.
I also
know.
kind of think that we would have to have at least like a rough draft of minis.
Yeah.
Like publicly available in some way in order to do that.
That or we just don't tell people. and they have to hope. That's one of the hard parts when it comes to a tournament. Bringing up CEDH is actually really interesting. So when it comes to a TCG, which is a very common tournament format, one of the things that makes a competitive game like that interesting and replayable and not always just a slaughter against skill is that there's a level of uncertainty.
The character
right?
concept, I mean.
When it comes to playing a card game, due to the randomization of your deck, and depending on what game you're playing, each one is different. For instance, MTG suffers this a lot more than a game like Yu-Gi-Oh does. At least from what I've heard. I don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Uncertainty makes it so that someone of less skill can still win due to chance. And I think that Utopia is lacking that quite greatly. At the end of the day, if you are simply more knowledgeable by a large margin, if you are more experienced and you know the game and the rules better, you will just win virtually 100% of the time. A level of uncertainty to me is important in a tournament to check a person's adaptability, to check sometimes you just lose. Sometimes the odds are just not in your favor. Sometimes you go against your direct counter.
To be fair, I do feel like randomness could be implemented in the arena that it was set in rather than in the character building and stuff.
Not just in the arena, but like you can also implement for tournaments, unique PvP rules that kind of go against the base core rule set that introduce that randomness,
Yeah.
All this to say, I think it is possible.
No, Trank, what you just said is exactly what I was going to say. That would have been my solution as well. So Trank originally said, hold on, I had to move my chats around. I like the idea of having something that was chatted about at one point, a tournament for any level where you get rewarded for being lower level. So even if you don't get first in the tournament, you could win by score if your level is lower. Would probably be played as a round robin. So, Utopia is a game where a low level is excessively punishing. It can be extremely punishing to be a low level. That's not always to say that it is a bad thing, but it can be really punishing. If we say, let's say it's a range between 10 and 100, which is obviously a very massive range. A level 10 just does not ever win against a level 100, barring extremely, and I mean extreme circumstance. And even then, more often than not, level 100 can just cover every single base easily and just thwart anything and everything a level 10 could do. You know what I mean? Obviously that's a large range, and I know these numbers can shift around and it can be better or worse and so on and so on. But that's just to say. Trank also said we could add unpredictability in the arena with random elements, rule sets, etc. That's what I was going to say would be my solution to produce that level of uncertainty, right? The fact that there are other things that are trying to kill you too. You know what I mean? It's not just your opponent. It is also the trepidations of your arena. It is random events that happen between rounds. It's all of these other things. Well, yeah, but then it also becomes a game of chicken. You had no idea what level other people made, so you have to gauge how high level you make your character. No, that's pretty fair, honestly. I find it interesting personally. I do think it's possible. Gauging and balancing the reward scale for that would be tough. It's really hard to gauge how much you should be rewarded for being a level 10 on purpose. You know, tournament champions and food net, they have randomness like arena, rule set, and goals. Not all challenges need to be a fight. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's really easy to min-max combat. It's not always so easily to min-max everything else about the game. A puzzle is a puzzle, no matter what level you are. Sometimes a puzzle can be made easier through higher capability characters.
I think it'd be cool to have people submit like 6 characters and they use them one by one until all 6 are used. Then they can reuse them with that same rule, etc. until the tourney is done.
That's actually really interesting. Making multiple characters. So you build like a team for yourself. That would also be really interesting if they had to be all different levels and you had to decide what level you bring in at each time. Like, can you imagine you have to make like a level 10, a level 25, a level 50, a level 75, and a level 100? And when you go into a fight, you have to decide which one you're sending in. Interesting. Or 600 total levels to distribute. That'd be interesting. Yep, add up to like 200 level. Oh, point by leveling for your characters is actually kind of wild.
Rix and I on the same wave.
All right, chat, you're surprisingly convincing.
Now, I do want to make it clear we have a lot of events on the docket. So,
Yeah.
we'll definitely take ideas, but don't expect this within the next 1 to 2 events.
Chat, we're doing something that I
At
never
Donut
would have
Hamster
imagined
1
myself
GL
doing.
mate.
Something I never would have even considered doing in my entire lifetime. We're planning ahead. What does my life come to, Rain? What have you done to me? MTG
Good
and Utopia?
things.
Goodness me. I have said multiple times now, Utopia is
At
the
Sage
deck
Quote, that's
builder
just a
of
character binder.
TTRPGs. So you definitely win one match, but then you throw all the others? Yeah, no, 100%. No, I could definitely see that. I'm actually very interested in this, honestly. I like this. This is a fun, neat little concept. I wonder if there's ways, like, not event ways to test this concept and to try to balance it and figure it out. That's not, like, overly publicized or announced beforehand and doesn't have all the rewards with it and yada yada. But I do believe that Utopia is the deck builder of TTRPGs. What's that?
Can I vent off topic for a moment?
No.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
We ordered food for dinner because we didn't really have time to make anything for this, and just like every time I order DoorDash, they've entirely missed an entire item of the order. They got my wife's wrap, but they did not give me my sandwich, and I'm very upset about it.
What?
This happens every time, Rain. I just want you to know,
Dude.
every time I order food to my house, something is wrong with it. It's
Okay,
either
no, I had
cold
the
as
same.
ice.
I have only used DoorDash like 3 times in my life. One of them was a long time ago. I don't really remember it.
At
Then I got
Tranquilityle
one that
cause it
was,
would be
yes,
fun.
cold as ice. And then the last time that I did it, they were 40 minutes late and they had the wrong drink.
Incredible.
You know, I don't know if I just have like superior service in my area or if I'm just too dumb to realize that, to remember even what I ordered in the first place and just fail to catch every mistake. But I've had excellent experiences with DoorDash.
I think it genuinely depends
It's
how
the
far away
second
you are
one.
from the place you're ordering. Because we're out in the middle of nowhere, so it takes 15 minutes to get here from anywhere. I feel like, because when we lived in an apartment up north, restaurants were 5 minutes away. It was not a problem. Also, delivery was cheap, and it didn't matter too much. But
Makes sense.
I wanted to go back to kind of the main point we were talking about, like the events itself, right?
Yeah, I know you had more things and we got very sidetracked.
Yeah. I want to apologize to the community for having allowed it in the first place, but self votes should have been an edge case I had caught and resolved in before the voting even opened, and I apologize to anybody for that.
Yeah.
Alongside that, I don't know why I set it to default sort the submissions by most votes descending. That was dumb. They should have been randomly randomly displayed so that you always got a new view of what was submitted. That was also on me for completely missing that edge case.
Yeah. When it comes to self-voting, I've heard this before, and I personally agree with this. It's, in my opinion, better if an event does not allow self-voting, but if it does, it's competitively advantageous to do so. You do or you suffer the potential failure. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucks. That's a bad corner to put people in.
Yeah, that's definitely things that just will definitely be changing. We've all agreed on it and been like, yeah, we should have caught this sooner. And that's part of what comes with doing the first event.
Yep.
Thing where it sucks to do it, but if it's
Just
possible, you
one
kind of
guy.
have to. Just one guy. Just one guy. Okay, now everybody heckle Volt.
Please do.
No, we love Volt.
No, it's fine. No, I would love to be the target of a roast. That'd be great. I'm also kind of of the opinion, and
Roast cabbage at Volt asterisk.
you keep calling me Ed Sheeran, Rix, and I get it. We've been over this, but like, just pick a new joke. It's getting old. It's not so much a problem when you've only got one category for an event, but one entry per person seems to be kind of a better way to do things. It makes sense to allow multiple entries when you've got 4 categories. But when you bring that down, I don't think it makes sense to allow someone to go submit 15 things.
I agree. I think I believe in the 1 entry per category, regardless of how many categories there are. If we have like a 1 category jam, then it should just be 1 entry.
Yeah, which isn't a big deal. I think the only other thing, that point of contention that I think needs to be discussed is like the secret item rule was pretty lenient this time forward. Not a lot of gyms implement something like a secret item. Normally you get a theme and you submit your entry along that theme. But yeah, I love the idea of the secret item.
Has used a secret item. I've never seen a jam without one, including film festivals.
Admittedly, I haven't been a part of a lot of jams already.
You know, maybe game jams don't. Maybe game jams don't.
I've watched. That's been most of my experience has been game jams. Admittedly, I've never submitted to one, but I've watched many creators participate as part of them. And maybe I was just not paying attention. But I love the secret item idea. It just needs probably a bit more sophisticated rules around it.
Yeah. I also think it's kind of hard to make rules for something like putting a silver coin in something like a single Utopia talent tree without making the entire thing about it can be kind of awkward and difficult. But more even worse so, normally a secret item is not so simple as a silver coin. A silver coin was a freebie, dude. Normally it's something really, really outrageous and spontaneous, like a peanut. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of something really wild. Like a pair of earbuds. You know what I mean? Something that is purposefully really awkward to put into the story. Because it's a tester more than anything to prove that you made it for the jam. You know what I mean? A banana peel, a beach ball. Yeah, exactly. But
and that's
again, for like a talent tree, that's kind of difficult.
I mean, it depends on the medium, 100%. You know, it's not too hard, and it is difficult, meaningfully difficult in written works and visual mediums.
Put a Utopia character in the story.
Games and like games explicitly are kind of the ones I'm calling out here. It's so easy to just
antique piece of uranium glass from Victorian
make a
antiquity.
special effect
Good
that
luck.
throws some coins around, like Wordless did. I just think there's definitely, I don't know, maybe explicitly for game creative jams, right?
No, I can see it.
The problem is that putting an item
realizing
can,
that I'm kind of
if
wondering.
done wrong, completely bar out entire genres and themes.
Yeah, no, I can see what you're talking about, Forager. I think that's like maybe that's something that I just pulled out of a select few jams. And like, because a lot of I remember very explicitly it happening in film festivals, especially like 48-hour and 72-hour film festivals. And from my experience, it was a relative commonality. But I'm kind of wondering if there was just a select group of people that chose to do that, and I just assumed it was a normality. Like, I might be the weird one here. I don't know, but I was always super interested because creative limitation is really interesting to me.
I think there's an argument to be made about either not having one or making it a more important part of it in general. I think it could go either way.
The other one that I've heard before was that you have to have, like, for instance, there's examples, or like there could be multiple examples of what a potential secret item is, so that you have multiple options that fits your medium the best. Because in film festivals, I've seen, instead of it being an item, there's a piece of dialogue. There's a phrase that has to be included in dialogue somewhere. And for something like a story, that's a lot better. You know what I mean? There's a passphrase you have to put somewhere in your story. That obviously doesn't work for a piece of art, so there could be an object that has to be in the visual art in some fashion or another. You know what I mean? But you get, you know, the option to pick between those two.
That's cool. I could see having like a different, like either multiple options or like a different thing per category if it was a multi-categoried event.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. And then it also, because then the nice thing about that as well is someone who is submitting into multiple categories isn't dealing with the exact same limitations each time. It's obviously still the same theme, but then they kind of get to be like, oh, how could I incorporate this instead of incorporating that?
Pick your poison. Yeah, exactly. That would be an example of a phrase, in fact. Like poison could be an item theme. You know what I mean? And it's like you have to have the phrase "pick your poison" somewhere in a written work, or you need to have a obvious vial of poison somewhere in your art or your game, or poison needs to be referenced in your Utopia module or what have you. Object makes sense in visual, but not as much in writing. Yeah, no, it can be a lot harder in writing, in my opinion. Although I do like what people did. A lot of people usually took the secret item and they utilized it in a relatively forward-facing fashion. You know, there was definitely works that put it in the background and just said, hey, proof that this was the item, which is kind of the intention behind the secret item. But some people took it and they're like, this is now a philosophy behind the protagonist. You know what I mean? This is a mainstay. This is a trinket that the protagonist keeps with them, and it's referenced multiple times. There's fighting in chat, and I think it's funny. Well, that's kind of what I had to say about the Creative Jam personally. I don't think I have anything to give about future events right now. I mean, other than just the logistical stuff that we've talked about right now. I'm going to keep you guys completely in the dark.
Me adding it last minute when I realized I forgot XD.
That's kind of what a secret item should be. I think that's the essence of a secret item, is like, it's like a little bloop, proof that I did it. With that, this is a really early end of stream, and I kind of want to just cheat a little bit, and I want to show you how I play Magic the Gathering at Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, Lord. I'm out.
Bye, Volt.
I knew Ori would find a way to slip it in.
Yeah, I said I was going to.
But, like... Hey, it's your stream to everyone.
Love you, Volt.
Yeah, I love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Volt.
Chat.
Joke's on you, Diamond. Ori only plays mono decks.
Correct. I only play... That's not true. I have one non-mono deck. It's colorless. I'm not gonna play Magic, chat. I'm not gonna play Magic. I'm just gonna show you guys how I do my commander stuff. And to be fair, I do have a little bit of Myramyth theming on this one. So, this is my cheat. This is my excuse to tangent off into this. Show me some Eldrazi. Funny story. My colorless deck is purposely not an Eldrazi deck because I wanted to make a long time ago. Chat, I have some stories around this. I made a colorless deck.
I'm gonna disappear.
Okay, bye, Rain. Nobody's cool enough to stick around in VC while I talk about Magic the Gathering. Chat, I know you want to. I'm not gonna weren't Mira Magic cards made? Ha ha ha. So funny story. I'm gonna explain that in just a second. So I made a colorless commander deck in MTG as a joke, right? Like I made it because I'm like, haha, this is a funny meme. This deck is gonna suck. And I made an Urza's Battlethopter deck, which basically means that my entire deck can be played at Flash because it says colorless spells have Flash. And it's a colorless commander. So the entire deck is colorless. When my 3-drop commander is out, everything is instant speed. Everything I do is instant speed. Which made it really funny because I learned something when I made that. I realized that green is not the best at ramping. Fucking colorless is. Oh my god. The number of infinite mana combos in just 2 colorless cards is insane. The number of lands that tap for 4, I mean, it's 1, but it's insane in colorless. And they're not like billion-dollar cards like Gaia's Cradle. When my 3-drop commander is out, I get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So, chat, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do my best to explain these in ways that you don't have to know how to play Magic but still give a little bit of something for those who do play Magic. So, chat, I'm gonna have you pick one of these. I'm gonna have you pick a color. Which one would you like? Actually, let's do... Oh, I can't, chat. I can't do the crayon eating. I would give you crayons to eat, but it would break the vote for next Tuesday. Oh, yeah, no, funny playmat, huh? I'll explain more of that. Green, my beloved. Green, green, green. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of green. Okay, let's pull out green. Everyone's going to be extremely surprised when they see it. Would you look at that, chat? Who is my commander? So this is a Finn the Fangbearer deck. If you play Magic, you probably just cringed out of your seat. But if you don't play Magic, you probably know that it's Okifon, which is all that matters. And much to capture the presence of Oki, everybody hates playing against this deck. But in my opinion, the deck is very pretty. It really captures Oki, in my opinion. I can't see the crayons. It breaks everything, chat. I can't. It does have a Myramyth logo for the set symbol. It does. I obviously have the custom playmat and everything. And this specific extension of Tabletop Simulator
crayons.
allows you.
Vote.
I hate it so much, but it's Okifon. Yes, Okifon is a poison deck. More than anything, he makes everybody else poison you instead of himself, too. This is a really funny deck in my opinion. It is a proxy, yes, but they're specifically Myramyth proxies. And Okifon is a proxy of Finn the Fangbearer. Hopefully a lot of these will be thematic. Each one of these decks are actually broken into power levels to some extent. And Okifon is one of the lower power level ones. It's an annoying deck, don't get me wrong, but I would call it a pretty mid-level deck when it comes to competitive prowess. It's a synergy deck. You know what I mean? It's not a huge combo deck. It's not a kill you on turn 2 deck. It's a synergy deck. It's an annoying synergy deck, but it's a synergy deck. It's not meant to be hyper competitive. I'm gonna draw like 7 cards real quick just to show you. First of all, how cool this extension is. What the hell did I What? What? How did I? What? I don't know how I did that. Okay, cool. Anyways, fuck me. This extension is really cool because it allows you to import decks directly from Archidect, which is an online deck builder. I'm sure many of you have heard of it before. And just to explain essentially how this deck works, I can share these decks for anybody who's interested who plays MTG. But turn 1 is going to look like this. You pay 1. You play a 1-drop Death Touch because there's like a billion in this deck. Turn 2, you put down another forest. You play Oki. Look at that. All of the lands, by the way, are also the Oki plushies. This is going to be a recurring pattern. Now that your Death Touch basically has Toxic 2, you swing with the Death Touch. Next turn, this is where everything gets a lot worse. You just play a bunch more Death Touch creatures. Usually Death Touch and Reach. Green doesn't have a lot of creature control, so the form of creature control in this deck
she's black here.
Is essentially just the fact that literally basically this entire deck has Death Touch, and for those that don't have Death Touch, they have a way of getting Death Touch. That's basically the long and the short of the deck. Let's pull Oki back out. There we go. So that's our mono green deck, chat. Give me another color. Green has been shown, and everyone is so excited about it. Chat, give me another one. Blue. Ooh, Munchi says blue. This one's, I'm actually very excited for the blue one. Blue, I see a second blue. Let's grab blue out.
My beloved.
This one also captures the essence of Orion, in my opinion, because it looks harmless. It looks exceptionally harmless, chat. Most of this deck is made of 25-cent cards. This is my most competitive deck. Orion is a fucking sleeper, as it should be. This deck is Arkham Dogson. I bet a lot of people have not seen Arkham Dogson. Orion is a fucking cheater, apparently. This deck is so funny. This deck is probably on the 4 or lower 5 scale, just based on what cards it has in it. But this deck is extremely oppressive competitively. I wanted to rip it in half. Rain has played against this deck, and it's really funny, dude. I love this deck so much. This is my actual commander deck that I play in real life, that I made, that I play in lower level CEDH pods. I fucking love this deck so much. This deck is so funny, dude. This deck is so funny to me. Okay, I'm gonna draw 7 cards, and I'm gonna explain to you the really weird... That was the worst draw ever. We're going to... Actually, let's do a Paris draw. Okay, yeah, no. We're not even gonna... I don't know if it's called Paris. I don't remember what the name of it was. But it's basically draw 10, pitch 3. We're just gonna completely molly on that. 2 lands is not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, how about 0 lands? That's a... Oh, hey, look. Would you look at that, chat? There's a few proxy cards in each deck. And you'll find a few of them. Funny enough, Surreal gets to be Platy Angel. I don't know how many of you know who Platinum Angel is or what Platinum Angel is, but this will immediately give you a little bit of an idea of what this deck is trying to accomplish right now. This deck has the funniest way of working, in my opinion. Let's try this again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's no way. Fuck it. We'll keep a 2-lander. We'll keep a 2-lander. We're just going to draw really good chat. We're going to keep a mana drain because we don't want people to like us. We don't need a Darksteel Reactor. Soul Ring is insane on a turn 1. That's huge. We don't need Contagion Clasp. Not on turn 1. Phyrexian Metamorph is huge. We do want all of our 1-drops. So, oh, fuck. I guess we get rid of one of our 1-drops. That's unfortunate. Usually like to keep those, but that's fine. So let me show you how this deck goes and what makes it so goddamn crazy. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to play an island, unsurprisingly, go straight into a Soul Ring because we are, in fact, bad people. Go into the next turn, and we're going to turn to our commander, which is absolutely bonkers. This is so good for this deck. This deck wants this so bad. So we're going to turn to Orion right now. So Arkham Dogson's ability is you tap it, and target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it. This is really awkward wording, but it is very, very important. Target artifact creature, so you target a creature, and then its controller sacrifices it. That player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card, put it into play, and then shuffle their library. That means that they get to tutor an artifact, a non-creature artifact, and put it onto the battlefield. This deck is insane, dude. So turn 3, we're going to draw another card. We're going to put down 1 island, and we're going to play the most silliest little guy ever. We're just going to play a little Arcbound Worker. We are never going to use this Arcbound Worker for its intended purpose. In fact, we have enough mana. Let's actually undo that. Let's just go ahead and use our Soul Ring, because we're going to play another one. Play a little duder. Okay. This is where this deck gets a little bit wild. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use Arkham Dogson, and we're going to sacrifice, we're going to target our Arcbound Worker, and we get to search for an artifact. There is a set of artifacts that I almost always search for in a specific order. The first thing that we're going to grab is 1,000-Year Elixir. 1,000-Year Elixir allows us to pay 1 mana and tap it to untap target creature.
In that deck?
No.
At Diamond the Dino plushie, I just make the
we can activate abilities
as
if they have crash, as if they have flash. Or as if they have haste, I'm sorry. So we're going to pay 1, tap our 1,000-Year Elixir we just grabbed, untap him, tap, and sacrifice our second 1-drop creature, and we're going to find, this is always the thing that I get, it is so consistent, we get Portal to New Phyrexia. So Portal to New Phyrexia basically comes in as a one-sided board wipe. It's normally 9 mana. We're going to turn our little 1-drop duder into this 9-drop artifact, and basically what it's going to say is it's going to ETB, and each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. This is turn 3 at this point, and this is probably on somebody's end step. People generally play their commanders at this point. People generally have built a little bit of board state. This ruins games, and everybody always forgets that I'm playing it. Like, I always play it the same way every time, all the time. It never changes, and everyone keeps doing it. This is where, from this point on, this is where it completely depends on what your opponent is doing. There are so many things we can do. So as an example, we currently have a Phyrexian Metamorph. Chances are I'm going to want to play that. So let me pay 2 mana, 3 mana, and 2 life to play a Phyrexian Metamorph. Oh, I'm sorry, correction. Upkeep. Portal to New Phyrexia allows us to recur something. This is a really important combo piece. So we're going to recur one of our artifacts so that we can get more artifacts. We're going to tap him, go ahead and sacrifice it again, and we're going to find, I'm just going to show you guys the insane number of combos that we can use. Example being 1 ring and Unwinding Clock. If you guys play Commander, you know exactly what I'm about to say here, right? This is a very common synergy that we're going to grab all the time. This is ridiculous. I have played Oathbreaker. I loved Oathbreaker, but none of my friends played it. The 1 ring says tap, put a burden counter on it, and then draw for every burden counter on it, right? But then on your upkeep, you get dealt damage based on the number of burden counters on it. Now, this basically says that once per turn revolution, you get to draw an incrementally larger number of cards. This is especially powerful in Commander because you have a much higher life total. You start at 40 life instead of 20. So Pretty good. However, Unwinding Clock says my artifacts untap on every untap step. Because there are 4 players in EDH, or sometimes when we play 6, this means that I get to, on my turn, I'll draw a card. Boop. And then on this player's turn, it'll untap with a burden counter on it. So I tap it to draw 2 cards. Bop. Bop. And then when it's this person's turn, it'll untap on their turn. And I'll tap it again to draw 3 cards. Bop, bop, bop. And then when it's this person's turn, it's gonna untap again. So I'm gonna use it to draw 4 cards. Bop, 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 bop. That was 1 turn revolution. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna take 4 damage. This is a ridiculous combo.
Pain?
This is ridiculous combo. And this is only 1 out of a million. It's our turn right now, and we have a billion things that we could do. First of all, may I say that all of our mana rocks, which we can tutor out, we have a chromatic orrery in here that taps for 5, and now all of our mana is omnicolored, and it untaps due to Unwinding Clock. So we get all of our mana regenerated at the beginning of every untap step due to Unwinding Clock. Let's put down a land and just explain how crazy these turns can go. Arkham Dachshund is very capable of protecting himself if he has to, because for instance, he can just go search. As long as I have a creature on the battlefield ready to go, I can go grab what's it called?
Dash.
Mithril Coat. Mithril Coat. Mithril Coat says, sudden flash, auto-equip when it enters, he's indestructible now. If that doesn't work, then we can use Phyrexian Metamorph to make a copy of him. Phyrexian Metamorph,
I don't need interaction.
Phyrexian Metamorph is an artifact creature. When it copies something, it becomes a copy of Arkham Dachshund, and it stays a creature. Now we can just flash in Darksteel Forge. So now all of our artifacts are indestructible. None of them can be targeted. We actually have, oh my goodness, I love this. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? One of the really crazy creatures in this deck. There's a very, very few non-artifact creatures, and one of them is fucking Neptune. Yep, it's this one. So Orion plays Neptune, obviously. Neptune, not forgotten. Artifacts you control have hexproof. This is normally Padim, Console of Innovation. But artifacts you control have hexproof. So now, with just this little baby combo here, all of our artifacts are indestructible and have hexproof. And this is all things that he can just tutor up with Flash. He taps himself, we can untap him, we make a copy of him to produce another one. We recur all of our 1-drops and then play more of them.
Oh yeah, Ori. You can grab Mycosynth Lattice to make all permanence artifacts.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm absolutely very aware. There's a lot of things that this deck can do. This deck gets really nutty really fast. It is possible to shut down, but it also does a pretty good job of putting itself back up. It's great at surviving. The end goal is Aetherflux Reservoir. Nobody is surprised. This deck should probably have a Lab Maniac in it, but it doesn't. There's a lot of ways to play this deck. That was a lot of spiel, chat. That was a lot of spiel. Anyways, the point is that Orion is kind of the sleeper out of all of the decks. He looks super harmless. He's not. He's very, very awful to play against. I love this deck. It's my favorite deck I have. All right, chat, pick another color. No, you cannot tutor for artifact creatures. No, you cannot tutor for creatures. We do have other ways to do that, such as Whir of Innovation, and we can merchant scroll into Whir of Innovation. We have a lot of other tutor stuff to get the stuff that does grab creatures. Whir of Innovation is a really good final attempt, because when we have indestructible hexproof artifacts, and I flash in tutoring a Platy Angel that says I can't lose the game as long as Platy Angel's on the field, it's really hard to kill me at that point, usually. I see white, Tori, colorless. Okay, we got another. Okay, plenty of colorless. Let's talk about colorless. Look at that. We have the Robo-Tutor himself, Ori Bot. This is probably one of my other favorite decks. This one's so silly. This one is not competitive either. This one's not super competitive. This deck is funnier more than anything. Like I said, originally Liberator Urza's Battle Thopter, Ori Bot says you may cast colorless spells and artifacts as if though they had flash. Fun. That's our whole deck. Our commander's colorless, so the whole deck is colorless. Whenever you cast a spell, and Cyclonic Rift, yes, you were absolutely correct. However, I am in mono blue. I have 3 different counter spells that cost 0 mana, as well as all of the other powerful counter spells in that deck. Yes, there's a small handful of ways. Supreme Verdict would do it. Cyclonic Rift, Evacuation would solve the problem. I just run counter spells and basically infinite mana, so... whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent on the spell was greater than Oribot's power, put a 1/1 counter on Oribot. Well, so basically all we do is we run the craziest ramp I've ever seen. and really, really big colorless creatures that we always flash in on somebody else's turn. I never play on my turn. I always play on somebody else's turn when it comes to this deck. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. Surreal makes the return. We have 2 wastes. Shrine of the Forsaken Gods is crazy. War Room is absolutely amazing. War Room is such a funny card. Pay 3 and tap. Pay life equal to the number of colors in your commander's color identity. That's 0, by the way. Draw a card. So it's pay 3, tap, draw a card on a land. Huge value. And of course, we have the One Ring, because why wouldn't we? So we're going to start off with a Shrine of the Forsaken. Absolutely. So this is going to tap for 2 mana down the line. It's not going to yet. It's Portal Neferexia again. We missed you. This deck is exceptionally slow in comparison, may I say. This deck is not going to go nearly as fast as something like Arkham or... Dear God. This one. Anyways, go to our 3rd turn. We're on 3rd turn right now. We're gonna wait for everybody to go around. It's gonna be the end of this person's turn, and we're gonna flash in Oribot, because Oribot himself does also have flash. Look at that. Untap and draw our turn. So now all of our artifacts are going to get flashed in whenever we really feel like it. Maze of Ith is insane. Maze of Ith is such a stupid land, dude. Colorless lands are so dumb. Oh my goodness. End of this person's turn. Look at that. We're going to go ahead and flash in a One Ring. And then on the end of your turn, we're also going to draw a card with it. We're going to have a burden counter on it. We're going to take 1 damage. Now it's our turn. We also have... That's actually a really unfortunate flash right there, because we actually lose the protection from it. So we can flash this in whenever we need protection from everything. That's a really funny thing about One Ring with flash, is that you can just flash, I have protection from everything until my turn. So that's cute. We do have a Mithril Coat, which innately has flash, but allows us to protect Oribot.
Like 4 mana?
Farewell? I don't remember, honestly. I believe so. I want to say yes. Transmutation Font is one of our tutor engines that's really, really powerful, because Transmutation Font can also find, surprise, surprise, the Unwinding Clock One Ring combo. So we're gonna go ahead at the end of your turn. We're gonna go ahead and flash in Transmutation Font, because of course we are, and then we're gonna tap it to create, let's say, a clue token. It doesn't really matter what token we make, but we're gonna make one. Sure, we make a clue token. The goal is to really just make a shit ton of artifacts with different names, so that Font gets to go tutor. Next turn. Being able to flash in a Planeswalker on somebody else's turn is also a lot of fun. So at the end of their turn, obviously, we're going to go ahead and flash in Ugin the Ineffable, which now puts a discount on all of our cards. On our turn, we get to do a bunch of stuff with him. It doesn't really matter. We're going to tap. We're going to make more tokens. Then we're going to go search for either Planar Bridge or Unwinding Clock or Darksteel Forge, and we're going to put it directly onto the battlefield with this. Lots of fun, lots of fun. Everything happens at instant speed.
2.
You go to attack me? Okay, immediately I'm just gonna flash in Wormcoil Engine. Planar Bridge allows us to tutor anything and immediately put it onto the battlefield for 8 mana. Another thing that we might search for is our infinite mana combo. Basalt Monolith and... Hold on. Basalt Monolith and Forsaken Monument. Really, really cute combo right here. Basalt Monolith says you can pay 3 mana, you can tap it for 3 mana, and you can pay 3 mana to untap it. It doesn't untap normally otherwise. Forsaken Monument says that whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, you add an additional colorless. So now it says, tap, add 4 mana, pay 3 mana to untap it. With only these 2 cards, this literally just taps our infinite colorless mana. This is essentially omniscience for us. We have infinite value out of that. We only need colorless mana. We can play our entire hand. We have Portal Neferexia, because of course we do, because we're bad people, chat. And there we go. That is our Oribot deck. Like I said, it's actually really not that powerful. It doesn't have a lot of interaction. It's stronger than the Oki deck, I would say, but it's ultimately not the strongest deck. It's easily countered. Good removal and good interaction just kind of makes it die. I am a nerd. Who would have known? Oki or Ari? We already done Oki. Yes, Oribot does have a slow deck. However, I think it's really funny
there is
that...
a 50/50th chance that they do.
Oribot is really funny, in my opinion, because Oribot, it has predisposed. So Oribot's entire shtick is that he can craft anything in a few seconds, and he plays the artifact flash deck. This is funny. Tori, black Ari, white. I'm gonna need to hear 2 people say the same thing at least. What do you guys want, chat? What do you guys want? You guys said all three. Alex Plot is Azorius. Alex Plot was actually gonna be Urza.
Torai.
I heard the first one that happened was white. Okay, let's talk about Ollie. Ollie, chat, what competitive level do you think Oliver's gonna be at? What competitive level do we think Oliver's gonna be at? This is mono white. I'm very curious to hear what people say. 12, don't you? Plopping Ursa is scary, yeah. Oh my goodness, is London. Ollie is the strongest of them all, obviously. Interesting. I will say that Oliver is probably... What is this topic? These are my commander decks. However, they have a little spin on them. Not the worst, but not the best. Actually, very, very close to the best. In fact, I would say that he immediately rivals Arkham Dogson. This, chat, is a very, very infamous Light Pause. Light Pause is gross. Light Pause is shooting for, on turn 3, you're entirely invincible and you have lethal on board unblockable. Light Pause is a disgusting Voltron commander. Very common, it is a CEDH commander. And for a good reason. Most of my decks are Voltron. Most of my decks are going to use their commander to tutor through the deck because it completely removes the uncertainty factor from MTG. I love Light Pause. Oliver Fox Advisor, yes. That unfortunately is a mechanical thing in MTG. I can't change that. But yes. Yes, mono white is disgusting. Oliver is probably itching for one of the CEDH spots. Let's draw a hand real quick, and I'll show you what Oliver's trying to do. 5,
I've
6,
played against
7,
this
8,
once.
9, 10.
Never again.
Yeah, no, it's really mean. We don't need jailbreak. This is technically good, but for the sake of example, I'm gonna pull this out.
In which case endos would probably end up in some rock, paper, scissors type deal.
Rock, paper, scissors. Ooh, this is actually a really good set of ramp. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Put these on the bottom. And let's look at this curve. So we're gonna play one white mana. We're not gonna play anything. This expects there to be a creature, so we can't play it. Boom, next turn. Play another one. We're already going to put Oliver down. Light Pause only costs 2 mana, so we're immediately going to put Light Pause down. Her ability is whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that of the aura with a different name than each aura you control. So the idea is that whenever you enchant Oliver, he gets to tutor for another enchantment of equal or lower mana value. That doesn't mean power. It just means cost. Equal or lower cost, and immediately attaches it onto him as well. This is disgusting. Let's see if we can showcase this a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to do... Ooh, man, that's actually pretty gross. So the first thing that we're going to be able to do is we could actually put... Yeah, we're probably going to do this. I would probably personally start with Dub right off the bat. So Dub is going to be +2/+2 and first strike, which is not bad. But what we're probably going to do is just immediately grab... oh, goodness, what's it called? Where are you? Shield of Faith. Or Shielded by Faith. So immediately he's now indestructible. So we currently have a 4/4 first strike indestructible on turn 3. Boom, swinging for commander damage. So honestly, at this point, I probably wouldn't. Oh, that's a really gross pull right there. That's a disgusting pull. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to put Spirit Mantle on him. We have protection from creatures now. +1/+1 protection from creatures is gnarly. Protection from creatures means that creatures cannot deal damage to him, even if they block, even if they whatever. It doesn't matter. Creatures cannot deal damage to our commander anymore. As well, when they attack, creatures cannot block. It's super gross. What I'm going to look for now is a Vigilance. I want Vigilance now. This is the next thing on my list. I believe I have a 2-drop Vigilance. Oh yeah, Lamp is in here, chat. We have Lamp in here. I really love this. It's funny because Lamp protects Oliver in this deck. It's so good. And Lamp can give mana to pay for more enchantments, and only enchantments that enchant Oliver and make Oliver stronger while protecting Oliver. It's so good. Where is it? The one thing that's missing from this deck that's going to get added pretty darn soon is going to be Teferi's Protection. Teferi's Protection is just infinite protection. Teferi's Protection says you and all of your stuff phases out until the beginning of your next turn. It saves from everything. Teferi's Protection is probably one of the most omnipotent protection cards in Magic. It's disgusting. Oh, and it's free. It's a 0 mana card. This is actually really gross. Ethereal Armor gets really gross because it gets +1/+1 for every enchantment, and obviously we poop enchantments out like they're nothing. Yeah. I don't remember if we have the Vigilance one right now. Or if we have a 2-drop Vigilance. I probably should find that, honestly. I didn't even think about that. There are definitely much better ways that this deck could even be built, and even as it is, it's ridiculous. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the one.
Dino plushie, you should have said that, damn it. Could you give me a
this
list
is the
of
one.
characters in Myra lore, please?
Enchant creature with another aura attached to it. It's Light Paw, so it always does. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. Okay, so we currently have a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Protection from creatures. 8 commander damage in before we even have to tap it. And then, of course, we're probably going to put in Benevolent Blessing, give it protection from a certain color so that it can't be dealt damage or targeted by that color, yada yada.
Rain, I'm going to DM you something.
This is one of very few ways that we could actually get protection from white. If we give Light Paws protection from white, all of these fall off. This does happen retroactively in Magic. This is a very important rule to take consideration of. Benevolent Blessing specifically states that it does not remove existing auras. However, it does prevent future ones. But let's say we're just going to do that. And we're going to say black, yellow, so on and so on. The final piece of this that makes this really important for a Light Paws deck is called Entangle. Entangler is very important. And yes, we do have a way to recur all of our enchantments, plenty of ways. Entangler says enchanted creature may block any number of creatures. So this is kind of the game plan, right, chat? We have an indestructible protection from everything commander that does lethal damage in one attack once we put something like Double Strike on it. We give it flying or evasion. It has protection from creatures, so it can't be blocked anyways. It can't be targeted by any color other than white, and we have T-Pro in case that does happen. We deal lethal damage. It has vigilance, and when you go to attack us, we literally can block any number of creatures with our creature that literally can't be dealt damage. So you'll never get anything through to us. Not to mention, it's just massive. It's just a gigantic creature by this point, and it only gets bigger fast. So that's kind of the idea behind this one.
Yeah, but I just exile C.
Then IT Pro.
Lightning bolt targeting you.
How do you plan on exiling it out of curiosity? Poison plus End of the Infinite? Then I just T-Pro. Chakalaka. And that is our white deck, chat. Counterspell that exiles the stack? Then yeah, I would just T-Pro. I mean, you can exile the stack if you want. I have a billion enchantments. This deck is literally like 50% enchantments. There's so many redundancies in this deck. Tori? Tori. All right.
Tori.
Chat, what competitive level do we think Tori is? It will stop your ability? Yeah, it will. Until I just play another enchantment and it procs again.
No.
Big hammer level. Oh, you just reminded me. There's a card I want to put in here.
Doomsday and Thor Ackley.
Doomsday Thoracle is funny. What power level do you guys think Tori is?
I also have an INF counter spell deck.
Somebody already managed to guess it. I have a custom ability called Flips the Table. Yeah, it looks like this. Now I win. Tori is by far the weakest deck that I have. Tori is not a strong deck. She is usually a deck that I use for fun. When I'm trying to have fun, when I'm at a casual table, this is the deck that I'll play. This is pretty much just exile my deck beatdown. The goal, so this is a Lelia deck. Basically, the entire intention behind
Yet
this...
I am horrible with red LMAO.
The whole idea behind this is I'm going to get Laylee out as fast as possible, and I'm just gonna start exiling cards from my deck. Every time I exile cards from my deck, she gets bigger. That's all I'm trying to do. There's really just mild synergy and no special combos in this deck. There are ways to make this deck a lot stronger. You can definitely take infinite
Don't worry
turns.
about it, I have dealt
you
with
can,
light cause before.
You can get infinite creatures. There's so many ways to deal with this. Are so many ways to make this deck more powerful, and I purposely made it casual. I like it. It's a fun deck, in my opinion. It's okay to play against. It's fun to play. I find it interesting. We're gonna turn to some Lightning Greaves to try to protect our Tori. Untap, draw. Immediately, we're gonna play her. Pay 3 mana, play her. We're gonna equip the Lightning Greaves on. And we're going to go in for the attack. When we attack, she's going to get a 1/1 counter. She's going to exile a card from the top of our deck. We can play it, but we can't play it because we don't have enough mana to play it. So we're just going to not. Yes! Oh my god, what is the timing? 4 mana for Eevee! Oh, I love Eevee so much. It's so funny, dude. Eevee is Wild Magic Sorcerer in this deck. And Wild Magic Sorcerer goes so fucking hard because... This is Eevee, Knee Breaker, by the way. Wild Magic Sorcerer says, the first card you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. Cascade interacts really funny in this deck. So, the way that Laylee works is whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from your library or your graveyard, you put a 1/1 counter on her. However, so that means that if something said exile the top 3 cards of your library, you're only going to put 1 counter on her. However, Cascade triggers multiple times. Every single time it exiles a card off the top of your deck, it counts as a separate trigger. So she will observe every single card that gets exiled this way. Let me give an example. So we have 5 mana out right now. We're just going to go straight in for the attack with Laylee. She's a 4/4. This will turn into a 5/5 when we exile a card. This is great. This is so awesome. So we're going to cast this. Boom. We're just going to deal 4 damage to something. It really doesn't matter. Cascade says we exile cards from the top of our deck until we find something that costs less than it. So we have to go until we exile a 1-drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, non-land. 6. Oh, nope, that's actually it. That's super unlucky. That's so unlucky. This is just gonna Earthquake for 0. Unfortunate. That does actually happen. She did get 6 1/1 counters, but needless to say, it's not uncommon that if I play a 2-drop from exile with Wild Magic Sorcerer, there's a chance I just exile my entire deck. And she becomes like a 40/40. Or I guess in EDH, it would be like an 84/84. It's really fun. Tori has some fun combos. She doesn't win super often. She's a very casual deck. I would call her about pre-con level.
At Ashton PYR, hey?
She's got funny synergies. She's got interesting cards, but she is not competitive. Or at least the deck isn't, I should say.
At Rainey's Falling Green is known for big bonk.
Tori is a green player is kind of funny. Alrighty. And finally, we only have one more, chat. What do we think the level is on this deck? Ari is perfect. Ari is so thematic in my opinion. I need Tori Ollie Boros like immediately. It would be funny. About a mid? A mono black 15 minimum highest? Interesting. This is in CEDH level, chat. This is actually a deck that I built, but when I went to import it into tabletop, I got lazy, so I just stole it. It's a crick deck, chat. This deck tries to win on turn 3 consistently. This deck is extremely strong. This deck's entire goal is the most efficient way to spend all of your life as if it is resource to win on turn 3. It is super Ari coded, in my opinion. I actually, because I stole this deck off of EDH, I'm sorry, off of Architect, I probably don't pilot it as strong as you should. That's so lucky. Gemstone Caverns right off the bat? That's so gross. This starts on the battlefield on our opponent's turn. Oh, we don't actually draw that. My bad. On our opponent's turn. Oh, we do draw that because assumingly we didn't go first. That's so crazy. We start with one black right off the bat. Whoa. We immediately ramp into... That's so gross. Unfortunately, we can't quite get this Lake of the Dead out. However, We can get this Mox Amber out. We have 3 mana on turn 1,
This makes
which
me
is
want
really
to bring
nice.
my turn 2 INF Blue Mill.
Sensei's Divining Top is pretty solid. We can Sensei's just to make sure that we get this right off the bat. So we're going to look at the top 3 cards of our library and put them back in any order. Oh my dear God, that's disgusting. That's ridiculous. Soul Ring or Lotus Petal? I think we're gonna need this Soul Ring on top, and we can just go straight into that Lotus Petal. The ramp in mono black is so disgusting, dude. It's so ridiculous. Do we go straight for that Soul Ring? Yeah, we might as well. We might as well grab that Soul Ring right now. So we're gonna pay to swap the top card out with Sensei's Divining Top, and we're gonna pay 1 for this Soul Ring. So we have, it's turn 2 right now. We have 5 mana currently, which is solid. In this deck, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's exactly what we want. We're going to pay 2, 3, oh, yeah, and 4, like this. And we're going to pay 6 life. Paying life is the big thing in this deck. We sacrifice our life total. We're going to play Crick. Crick is absolutely disgusting. Crick is going to do some delicious, delicious things for us. We can pay, instead of playing a black pip, we can choose to instead pay 2 life for each black pip, and it gets really disgusting. This hand actually doesn't have a ton of action in it, but we have a little bit of a funny combo here, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We can use this. We can sacrifice a swamp to add 4 black to our mana pool. So we're going to tap this for 4 black, and we're going to sacrifice the swamp. We now have 4 floating mana, which we're only going to use on colorless because it's the one thing we can't pay for. Oh, we can't do all of it. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad right now. We're so close. We cannot do the full combo here. That's okay. We'll save Murchie for last. It's going to be pretty important that we save Murchie for last. So we're going to spend 6 life for Bloodletter of Aclazots. If you would lose life, you lose twice as much instead. Shieldred, so that whenever you draw a card, you lose 2 life, which turns into 4 life because of Bloodletter. And whenever I draw a card, I gain 2 life. All right, perfect. Which is funny because we're going to spend 10 life on this. Perfect. And I think that is, we have 1 floating mana to play Sensei's Divining Top again. Teehee. We could, let's restructure the top of our deck with our 1 floating mana. So let's see if there's anything off the top that we want to change. It's nothing crazy, really. Not really what I would have wanted, but is what it is. We'll go ahead and tap Sensei's Divining Top to go ahead and get this Lotus Petal out onto the field so that we have an extra source of mana, and we'll put Sensei's Divining Top on top. Untap, draw a card. Of course, we're getting a ton of life during this, and this is where the real combo comes in. Realistically, we're going to pay 2 and 3. And we're going to play Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which immediately is going to... There's better ways to do this. A Phyrexian Obliterator would go so fucking hard right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our Devotion to Black is currently 10. When Grey Merchant of Asphodel comes in, we're going to have each opponent lose 10 life. And we're going to gain the amount of life lost this way in EDH. That is 30. However, Bloodletter is going to say you lose twice as that much life instead. So they're actually going to each lose 20 life, and we're going to gain 60 life from Grey Merchant of Asphodel joining. This is a slow game. I'm going to be honest. For this deck, this is a pretty slow game, and this is just kind of what Crick does. You submitted Savings Loss to the website. Let's go! Huge. Huge. Absolutely massive. This deck was definitely not pulling its action, which is unfortunate. A Bola Citadel would have made this go so hard right now. Didn't mean to yell at you this time. And those are my Magic decks, chat. Those are my Myramyth-based Magic decks that I use just for funsies. This add-on to Tabletop Simulator is really, really fun. You can import any deck into it. I have a lot more tinkering that I would like to do, and I think it's very fun. Clones play their respective decks in a 6-player game. What are their rankings? Any biases of the clones being players can be considered. Yeah, no, Orion wins. I think Orion wins roughly 100% of the time. I have no idea if there's Thoughtseize in the deck, honestly. I didn't build this deck. Also, why does it matter? Orion, that deck is so hard to put down, dude. That deck is so difficult to put down. It's so good at getting back up. The only time that you can really stifle it is really, really early on, and the only deck out of these 6 that is capable of doing that is Arisuki. And chances are the mono black deck is more concerned about doing their own thing before stopping your thing. They'd rather spend their first 3 turns of mana to play their entire deck. Second and third place, next one up I would say is probably Oliver and then Arisuki. Oliver's deck is really just, once it gets set up, it's really hard to kill Ollie. He just has a lot of ways to protect himself. He has lethal on board very early on. Usually he's going to be really difficult to put down, and he's not going to care about your interactions. Arisuki is really good at just winning the game because she said so.
Ooh, which deck should I play in Commander? My control blue deck, my INF mill deck, or my very fun Taxes deck?
Taxes is so ass. Want something cool about my story that I forgot to say? What's that? I think Orion would just get beamed. Really interesting. Arkham Dogson is a scary commander. I know it doesn't look that way, but I think it is the most competitive commander in this entire set of decks here. Knowing Archie probably tried to deny any other decks setups before setting her up herself. Like, let's be honest. I mean, honestly, that's actually pretty fair.
Well, sure, but also politics.
Well, yeah, but I think Orion's also the best at politics. Especially because the mono blue deck is not scary until it's already too late. This deck has 0 threats until it's gotten its payload. It is not until it's received its payoff that it has a single threat on the board. Like, this deck has 1/1 artifact creatures that have no ability, right? It has been essentially, for all intents and purposes, vanilla artifact creatures. And then in 1 turn on your end step with counters in hands and the ability to interact, it wins. It doesn't win, but it gives itself the ability to not lose the game. It has indestructible, it has hexproof, it has the ability to fish out any artifact it could ever need to respond to whatever you're doing. It is insane what this deck is capable of. The working PCs made using a screenshot of the AG. I fucking knew it. I was gonna guess that too. I fucking love that. Wouldn't win because of their personality? Maybe. Maybe if Orion wasn't trying to win then. That's amazing, Forager. I love that. Well, chat, that was fun. That was fun. I just wanted to show you that. Thank you for giving me the time to show off my fun little decks. These are actual cards, by the way. I do have these actual proxy cards as well, and they are in my real decks. I don't have all of these decks. I, in fact, only have 3 of them, and they're not exactly the same in each one. But I do actually love these decks. The mono blue, the mono black, and the mono red, I actually have in real life. I would like to get the other ones. Both proxies and real magic cards are both very expensive, unsurprisingly. Mono white is the next one I'm going to go for, though. I'm really excited to make this mono white deck. Got characters for the guilds, shards 4 and 5 colors. Oh, absolutely, dude. I would love to have an entire deck of just Myramyth proxies. You have no idea how hard that would fuck, dude. I would love that so much, but I digress. I think it would be so much fun to just have a shit ton of Myramyth proxies. Honestly, I think level 48 the highest. Kid was at level 14. That's gross. That's wild. No, but I do. Perfection gotta be is it? Perfection is it, you say? I think that perfection would have to be what's it called? Oh goodness. Oh my goodness, what is it called, chat? The 10/10 protection from everything. Progenitor. No. Progenitus? Yes. This is what I would make perfection, chat. This is what perfection would be in my opinion. Actually, what I meant to be player biases, like if Ari played something to stop Oribot from hitting Oki or something. No, I could absolutely believe that. The player politics is really interesting twist of the game, in my opinion. Commander is about politics. A lot of Commander is about politics, genuinely. When you're playing EDH, it's a lot about just bargaining with your other opponents, because killing somebody on turn 2 usually means you die on the backswing.
Politics decks,
because you have
beloved.
2 more healthy opponents. You know what I mean? Or in their case, 4 more healthy opponents, which is really scary. But that Gray Merchant that I just explained, if you have a 6-player pod, that Gray Merchant instead charge 100 life and you gain 100 life. Eldrazi would also be a fair perfection one, like the one that has protection from instants. It's one of the Emmerich rolls. You gain control of somebody else's turn, yada yada. But this one's really funny. I think this one's really funny. Progenitus is really interesting. I think it would be a potential perfection card in my opinion. I think that perfection is either colorless or omnicolored. Going by philosophy, that makes sense. Politics decks is really interesting. I think they're fun. But chat, I think the 13 drop Emrakul. I think that's going to be a delicious and oh, you know what? Perfection could also be Karn liberated. No, wrong. Everybody's wrong. Perfection's Karn liberated. Nuh-uh, nope, nobody can change my mind anymore. I'm sorry, chat. It's over. I was about to do my outro, but we're doing this instead. Hold on a second, chat. Karn liberated is a planeswalker. 7 drop with 6 loyalty counters. Colorless. +4, target player exiles a card from their hand. -3, exile target permanent. -14. This happens in 2 turns, by the way, because he's a 6 loyalty counter with a +4. Restart the game. Leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn liberated. Then put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. That is perfection. This is the only motherfucker that is playable that can restart the fucking game. That's perfection. I love Karn Liberated. I played Karn Liberated when he was in Standard, which was like a decade ago, chat. I love that. That's so funny, dude. That's actually so hilarious. Can you imagine just being like, yeah, I'll pay 7 mana, do some proliferate business. I'll play Perfection. Put your cards away. We're starting this over. I just love that there's a fucking Magic card in Modern Magic that says restart the game. That's so stupid. I love it so much. I love it so much, dude. It's so funny. The other thing is that thematically, planeswalkers don't die. They just planeswalk away. So you can't actually kill Perfection if she's a planeswalker. Oops, I wiped the world again. My bad. It's so funny, dude. That's so painfully thematic, too. I have a question about Greater Arts. Fexathon? Maybe Progenitus is the Fexathon, actually. I feel like Progenitus would be the Fexathon now that I think about it. That'd be so funny. It's a protection from everything. It literally can't be dealt damage under any circumstances. You can't block it under any circumstances. If it chooses to deal damage, it does. Not even the person who played it can target it. Progenitus to me is the Fexathon. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, and if it dies, it gets shuffled back into your library. So if it dies, it just comes back later. It's really funny.
Each of them has a cost of some kind beyond stamina, right? What kind of costs are there?
So it's something that I'm calling concentrated stamina costs, or concentrated SHP costs, or concentrated DHP costs, on top of additional other things, like likely they will cost physical components more often than not. The other problem is that instead of costing normal stamina, they reduce your maximum stamina when you cast them. You do get this effect back, but extremely slowly no matter what level you are. Greater Arts are extremely unsustainable, which is the point of them. You have to, if you cast a Greater Art that costs 100 concentrated stamina, it will take you 3 months to get it back, no matter what level you are. The Doctor deck. Oh my dear God. Wait, what would a Doctor deck look like?
My brain is going way too fast.
About what? We could fucking... There's so much we could do, dude. The hard part is art, though, chat. Oh, did I not tell you that Chatbot is in one of my decks? Chatbot is a card in one of these decks. So is Arakoth. Will artifacts be able to give people greater arts? I don't know. I have been thinking about that for a while, and I don't think so. I think structures might be able to, but at, again, just ridiculously exorbitant costs. There's a chatbot. Make core spells and items, and maybe some talents into proxies. Wait.
Spectrum Sentinel, I believe.
Wait, that's so funny. Yes, it is Spectrum Sentinel. Spectrum Sentinel is actually really thematic for a really funny reason, in my opinion. Arakoth's ability is fucking hilarious, in my opinion. I love Arakoth's ability. Oh my goodness, I always forget what they're called. What is the name of the actual card? No, it's not Desolation. Oh, I remember. Yep. Doomsday indeed. I did show you a Velicus. And we saw Lamp. And we saw Surreal. I think those are the other ones. I'm gonna show you guys why I find Chatbot in specific so funny and thematic. Chatbot's just a little dinky 1/1. They're in the Orion deck so that they can be turned into giganto artifacts that murderate people. But this is just an uncommon, like, 25-cent card normally. Eric Koth is Doomsday Excruciator, which is really funny. The way that Doomsday Excruciator works is that when he enters, everybody exiles their library, minus the bottom 6 cards. That's your whole deck, chat. You exile your entire deck. It's so funny. Playing Doomsday Excruciator is basically saying the game is going to end in 3 turns no matter what. Technically 6 turns, but more often than not 3 turns because you just exiled your whole deck. Generally, you have a game plan after that. It's so funny. I love Doomsday. Chatbot is really funny because their only ability is, well, they gain life when non-basic lands enter. And protection from multicolored. So they can only be damaged by the clones, essentially, which is really cute because they have all the plushies, right? So only the clones or clone adjacent creatures can deal damage to them. I think it's hilarious, personally. I love Chatbot. I love Chatbot's character. Another one that we were talking about, chat, for stuff that can be proxied is making lands, like turning Mana Confluence into 6 points. I thought that would have been so fun, dude. I feel like that would be interesting. Interesting, Sage. Right? I would absolutely love, or maybe a Cavern of Souls or something like that. You know, something that produce a Hideaway could be 6 points as well. That would also be really funny. That would be extremely thematic if a Hideaway land was 6 points. Mana Confluence is just an Omni land. It's a really disgusting Omni land.
Also, Udo is for sure an Azorius land.
Uto is an Azorius land? That does make sense, doesn't it? I feel like Uto would have to be a colorless land. If you're doing, like, all of Uto, for instance. But I feel like the dual lands would probably be the various, like, territories around Paya. I don't know. That's usually how I see it.
Very satch.
The thing will never get back? Okay. Okay, I think that's my TED Talk for today, chat. I think that's my TED Talk for today. I love thematic proxies and stuff like that. I still want to turn Urza into Alex Plot because, of course, obviously. I have so much fun with these, dude. I love these so much. Chat, thank you for joining me on a shorter stream today. As many of you probably know, today is the last stream before break week.
Alex Plode my fav.
Red, white. Is that black? K? Black is normally B. There is no K. I'm gonna assume that is, but that would be Mardu. And yes, Imperium would be Mardu. Mardu is, I think it's actually the top commander deck currently, if I remember correctly. And it's also vampires. I'll explode my fave. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I really appreciate you guys. This has been a ton of fun. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. This has been super interesting. Thank you for joining me and just going a little bit ape shit over fun decks and shit like that. I had a lot of fun with this. Okay. I'm cleaning up my table right now. Might play some Magic in the future. I don't know. Maybe we'll do 4 pods for people who want to play just General Commander. That sounds like fun. Yeah. Hi, Chili Bean. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and find somebody to raid, and I will see you guys next Friday.
Play with us, Ori.
Maybe. Do you guys have Tabletop Simulator? Do you have Tabletop Simulator and a deck built on Architect? Whoa, level 26. Crazy. I am excited to see you guys next Friday. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. Make sure to stay for the raid. Stay for those channel points and that delicious XP that you receive. I appreciate you. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys are super awesome. I appreciate you a ton. Let me actually copy a real raid message. Teehee. Like a not dummy. Stay for the raid. I love you guys. Congratulations to everybody who won an award, and thank you to everybody who participated in the Creative Jam. I'll be reaching out to you guys soon. Thank you guys. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. And bye.